Welcome back, everybody, after our singular day break to the unofficial LPL English channel. My name is Yanni. I am joined here by Kobe for our first match of the Split 2 play-ins between IG and EDG. The winner will get to the top 8. The loser goes to Nirvana in Split 3. Kobe, this is going to be a banger, but this matchup is going to be a little bit of a mountain to climb for EDG, to put it mildly.
Hey, you know what? Fact check, Yanni. 2 out of the 3 teams competing in play-ins that have a winning record are going up against each other today, all right? It must be close because of that, of course. One of our Group Nirvana teams making an appearance against the 5 seed IG, the only winning record for Group Ascension that is in the play-ins. Excited to see how this one plays out.
Yeah, and you heard me right. You can pretty much ignore the top side of this if you have been with us the entire time. If not, thank you for watching. Welcome in. We're at the play-ins now. The top 4 will get to the actual true Blue Blood playoffs. Meanwhile, the bottom 4 will be done for the split and will go Nirvana Split 3. It's crazy that conceptually a team like IG could be sent to Nirvana, right? Like this is wild.
Yeah, and I think that's the fun of play-ins, the stakes that are at hand. Obviously, everyone competing to make the playoffs in MSI, but the ramifications for Split 3. Again, if you are in Group Nirvana, your chances of actually qualifying for playoffs as a whole, well, it's a lot harder going through Group Nirvana, and that means that your chances of making Worlds as a whole, and this best of 5 impacts that moving forward. So definitely excited to see this best of 5, and I was going to say who's going to win, but it really is, Yanni, is EDG going to make this one interesting?
Exactly, and one other thing to note about how hard the playoff run can be for these teams is that you don't do a 1v1 for side select anymore. The higher seed just gets the side select. Oh, and by the way, the 4 playoff teams, they get to pick their opponents in seed orders. So that's another thing to watch out for, what makes it really, really hard. Let's take a look at the final standings that we had for Split 2. And you can see that one of these things is not like the other, Cubby, and that is IG, the only other 10-win team that did not make top 4.
Yeah, and again, you can see there the only positive win rate team from Group Ascend that is in play-ins with that +3. EDG, of course, +4 in their limited amount of series. I will say, Group Nirvana, you know, it's interesting because, again, tonight, we haven't seen EDG in a little bit. Like, On's most played marksman is Corki. Are we really going to see Corki tonight, Yanni? Probably not. So, trying to figure out what they're going to play. Definitely going to be a challenge, a little bit interesting, but also Group Nirvana, those are really high-stakes, high-pressure games. I think they're a serious edge with Group Ascension and how much you are able to play. But EDG, I mean, they're playing for their lives for Worlds too, the entire split, right? If you're out of Group Nirvana, you're out of Worlds contention and out of Split 3 as a whole. We have not had stakes higher than that. The fact that they did manage to clutch up might be a good sign going into the night.
Yeah, they looked really, really good in Group Nirvana. The only loss they had was to Ultra Prime, who, yeah, they finished 2 and 3 and in danger of dropping out, but Ultra Prime was actually really, really hot at that time. But you're right, we haven't seen them in a long time. It has literally been 2 weeks to the day since their last best of 3, and remember, they have already not had a large amount of best of 3s to begin with. Now, before we really dig into this matchup, let's take a look at our Team of the Week and Player of the Week. Before that, though, we got to get to the play-in matches, because here are all of our best of 5s going on right now. Everybody's saying the most interesting ones are going to be Team WE versus LGD and Weibo versus Thundertalk. But honestly, I think the other 3, all of them, are going to be really interesting. I think this one might be the most easy to predict, Kobe.
Yeah, you know, in layman's terms, I feel like this one's the most black and white, Yanni.
That was beautiful.
Thank you. We'll see if that ends up being the case, as, of course, IG, a team that we really expect to not have clean games on the Rift, but I will say as they wrapped up Group Ascension, I think we're starting to really piece it together and play more consistently, which is what everyone was hoping to see out of this squad. So I do think that is a good sign for them heading into the do-or-die best of 5s.
Yeah, a whole lot of yin and yang, one might say, considering IG the top team out of Ascend, EDG the bottom team out of Nirvana, quote-unquote. You know, unfortunately for them, they were not able to move up to that first place slot, literally by a singular loss difference, which could definitely change their fate, but they must deal with the cards that they are dealt, Cubby. Now, we're going to take a look as we rounded out the split. at our team of the week for week 7 and 8, and a lot of names on there that you'll recognize. It's a mishmash of JDG and BLG, and for good reason, my friend. These teams got hot in the second half of Split 2.
Yeah, I see Knight there. The MVP count is not that high. However, when it comes to Knight, personally, I filled out my ballot for LPL English heading into the day, and I had him as my MVP. I see some other English speakers on Twitter have had it as well. Feels like as BLG has risen really from the ashes of expectations that we've had for them, Knight has been the pillar who was playing well the entire time, but has really stepped it up in the back half of the Split 2.
Certainly a respectable choice, no matter who you go with. There's a lot of really, really good players at the top of the LPL, so even if you don't have the same vote as Cubby, that is okay. Cubby will absolutely clown you for it, though. Let's be completely honest. Cubby is a known ball knower.
I mean, I'm used to getting clowned, actually, Yanni, so maybe I just have to take it out on other people. But
this is true. I did read what happened on Twitter the other day. Now, speaking of getting clowned, maybe I'll clown you for your team, because we are going to build a team with $15, and everybody can play along in the chat and on Twitter as well. We love engagement over there. You should go hang out with us there. I'm going to go first because I did map out my team a little bit to make sure it was going to be $15, because casters should not do math on the air. My roster is going to be Flandre, Monkey, Xiaohu, Gala, and Zhui for $15.
Okay, I feel like a lot of people are going with Monkey, and I will say that Xiaohu is a decent pairing for that. I have not figured out my roster yet. All I know is that I'm not going with Taeyun at 80.
I can say it slower if you want. We can just go back. I can buy you some.
No, don't worry about it. I think that I might take... Oh, God. Give me the Shy.
Okay. I think that's fine.
Give me Monkey. Cream. Pays and... I'm over money, actually. Don't even worry about it. I was trying to like go through.
Were you?
Wait, I need to go Hong there, but I don't want to go Hong.
That put you at, no, that would put you at 14, and that would give you Wink, which is fine.
Yeah, anyway. We'll go with that.
Right?
Sure, why not?
I think
not
I can
bad.
do math, right?
Anyway, don't worry about it. Of course, this was made for engagement purposes only and not to prove that we can do math on air. So if you want to engage with us, head on over to LPL English on Twitter. And let us know who you take. I think that was a fun graphic, even though I think having Jackie Love over Pays is ballistic, and having Taeyun over 1xN is also ballistic. Shout out to Rafa, who doesn't know ball, given where he placed those ones.
Damn, bro, that's savage.
Hey, you know what? He's threatening me with something on NACL. He's like, we're not running this unless you're co-streaming it, so I just have to get him back now before he gets me there. I'm getting ahead of schedule, Yanni.
Is he going to play the barking clip that we have in Discord? Sorry
Please,
to out that to everybody.
No.
Sorry to out that to everybody who is currently watching.
It wasn't an enthusiastic bark. That's all we're going to say.
One thing that I think is ballistic is your top side, by the way. Your top side is going to lose you so many games by just coin flipping everything, bro. I gave Monkey stable, solid laner and Xiao. So, one of them is stable and solid and Flandre.
Well played. I will say Monkey Xiaohu, decent pairing. People saying Monkey Knight. Knight with Monkey would be ballistic. I don't think that's the right juggler for Knight, but, we'll see.
Back to the matchup we have at hand. IG versus EDG, and there's a lot of history between these teams, Cubby, and a lot of these players. If you take a look on your screen, if you weren't watching this Worlds, you'll see some familiar faces. Jeje and Mako on the same squad. Spoiler alert, EDG won this game. I remember where I was for this.
I do too. I was unironically at a bachelor party that weekend. I woke up in the morning shocked to see that Canyon was getting gapped by JJ. Because, of course, Damwon were the heavy favorites going into that Worlds. But EDG put together a hell of a run with some LPL mainstays really at the helm. And we'll see JJ and Mako in action tonight. Of course, both those players have immense history with EDG outside of just hoisting this trophy as well.
Yeah, and I remember where I was at a Magic tournament, first Magic tournament after COVID, large tournament, waiting in line, watching this go on. As here we have the IG roster, the star-studded roster that has been a bit inconsistent at times. It's the Shy, Jeje, Rookie, Gala, and Mako. Some of these players are starting to come on a little strong.
Yeah, again, I think the consistency for IG of late, it has been a good look, and something that's been really fans have been waiting for before playoffs. No one questions the raw skill of this roster, It just has been, can they put things together in order to have games that look good going into the do or die matches? Because, again, the expectation for IG, I feel like they've somewhat met them throughout the regular season, but there are so many games or best of threes where it's like, all right, one game, clean, another game, just a terrible loss, like other games that are just super messy that end up in coin flips, as you said, wins or losses, right? So it was really, how can IG start to play better, start to play more consistently? For me, they have done that, but it really has been Mako, I feel like, stepping up, which has been a really good look for IG. I think that Gala and Mako have been playing much better in the back half of the split, just in time for playoffs.
Yeah, they were on a 5-match win streak before getting quenched by BLG a couple of days before the end of the season. They lost that series 2-1, but looked pretty solid in it. And for IG, this was a big departure from what they've normally done. It's their first super team that they ever put together. They didn't automatically get into that top 4, which I'm sure is a disappointment, but with so many good teams at the top, one of them had to be on the way out. Speaking of good teams at the top, let's talk about our representatives from Group Nirvana EDG and have a look at their roster. In the top lane's EDZ, in the jungle Zhao Hao, mid lane is Angel, and the bot lane is On and Wink.
Yeah, and again, we have not seen this team compete in a while, Yanni.
2 weeks.
Yeah, it has been 2 weeks. We are unsure of what they're going to look like on the new patch, but we'll say that with this squad, I really feel like Zhao Hao and Wink have been the highlights for me. So I think a lot of focus around jungle and support. I think the carries have been, I don't want to say suspect, but there are some, I feel like they have narrower effective champion pools from what we've seen with this squad. And we'll see if that gets challenged or pushed tonight, because, of course, we haven't seen the team in 2 weeks. So I'm just kind of curious to see what EDG is prioritizing on the new patch, Yanni.
Yeah, I'm interested on that as well. We only saw them with one match on this brand new patch, so which isn't so brand new anymore, to be honest. They haven't really gotten a lot of champion games into. A little bit more on that later, but yeah, it's going to be tough for Zhao and Wink to stand up to JJ and Mako, a literal world champion duo. As you can take a look at how long these guys have been with EDG, right? I mean, Mako joined EDG at just 16 years old, right? Like, this dude went from a boy to a man with this team, 4 domestic championships, an MSI championship, a world championship. I mean, look, just when he joined in late 2014, a guy like Pays was only 9 years old, man. I mean, this dude was around this team for a long, long time, started becoming one of the greatest supports in the game with them. He's hit every single 1,000 assist milestone since 4,000 when he originally hit it with them, the first one to do it in any region. I mean, this guy just hitting 10,000 recently is fantastic. Oh yeah, and JJ still, spending his entire career with EDG. This is the first time he's playing against EDG since leaving the team.
Yeah, I gotta say, if there is an actual Hall of Fame for League of Legends, Mako's in it. Like the career that he's had.
Will he be the next Hall of Legends inductee?
No, he's not. No way, Yanni. I'm not going there. Anyway, I said Hall of Fame, not Hall of Legends. A little bit different.
I'm just saying he could be.
I feel like one day, again, the career that Mako's had, it is Hall of Fame worthy. And to have Mako still, again, I feel like he has leveled up in the back half of this split. That has been needed for IG. It's providing a lot more consistency. So I would like to see that continue in playoffs. But again, the history that they've had with EDG and what they've done for that organization now, to send them back to Group Nirvana potentially today, it is quite the story.
Yeah, and I love that you touched on it earlier. What's EDG going to look like? We can take a look. We actually crunched the numbers and the differences between playing in Group Ascent and Group Nirvana. 18 series to 5, 3 times as many games, so many more kills. I ain't doing live math. The unique champion difference is going to be huge in this best of 5 Fearless. And then, of course, in game time, it is just like 4 times the amount almost, Cubby. It's an uphill battle.
I mean, it's actually crazy to think that IG spent more than a day of time in game. And wow. I know that there was a stat that was flying around where the LPL has played 4 times as many games as the LTA. It's just ballistic, again, how fast and furious this region is. And I think that Group Ascend was a massive advantage with that game time on stage. I mean, I will really, as an LTA fan, right, LCS fan, I really credit the TL and FlyQuest having good performances at Worlds last year because we had best of 3s. They had more time on stage. I think that looking at the LPL this split, are FPX and WE the same teams without playing in Group Ascend? I don't think so. Like, we don't see them really take games off of big teams and substantially level up from the start of the split without the fast and furious velocity of games in Group Ascend. So I think it's the biggest advantage you can have as a team going into a best of 5 like this.
Yeah, and what's really crazy to think about is that we're going to have a couple matchups where one of the teams that was in Group Ascend is going to be sent to Group Nirvana. In either Weibo, Thunder Talk, FPX, or NIP, right? Which is crazy thinking that a team like Weibo or a team like NIP with some of the players that they have could be sent to Nirvana. So something to be watching out for as the play-in stage progresses. The teams appear like they are getting ready, comfy. All right, so what are your keys to the match here in order for EDG to take a victory?
Ooh. Unplug monitors. No. I really feel like Angel has to like everyone in EDG has to step up.
2020 Angel?
Like, this is the hardest match to win going up against IG. Not just because like it is 5 seed versus 12 seed. I really feel like EDG, just pound for pound individually, is seriously outmatched going into this one. Yeah. So I am just kind of curious to see how they end up playing this one out as we're diving into picks and bans. And oh boy, 2020 Angel, you might need to really reach back in time and find the champ pool from back then, because at the moment, mid laner is being taken away, as that's the focus. Yeah,
going to be really tough there. We see this Talia getting off the board. Talia has been an incredible champion and has been for rookie specifically 9-2 on this pick, so you got to take it
Vi's
off.
Up.
Pantheon getting taken out as well. Good shout on the Vi. We'll see if that's going to be an immediate first pick slam here. It's JJ's second most played. I don't see why you wouldn't.
I got to believe it, because then you take the Rumble Gwen handshake later on. There is an opportunity to go Gwen Vi, right, on the flip side, but I don't think you can take Gwen plus Rumble. Oh, God, they're going to... Okay, we're just going to prioritize the Varus, potentially. That has been a big pick for Gala. Okay. Yeah. Again, Rumble Gwen handshake up. We're expecting to somewhat see that in Game 1. Yep. There's the Rumble.
So this is interesting because you can take away Vi's second best pairing and grab the Ahri for yourself and then kind of put together a solid enough mid-jungle. It's going to be a little bit difficult because some of Ahri's best pairings are gone, but you can kind of leave Vi as just her own singular champion at this point if you really want to. That does mean that you won't get the Gwen part, or you'll just have a lot of junglers banned out.
I think you put the Shy on Gwen. He is a menace on that champion. Okay. We could be saving it for a different game.
Yeah, I gotta say, I'm a little surprised what's going on here, especially if you think you're saving it for a different game. I mean, what you're expecting here is, no offense to EDG, an IG victory, which would put EDG on blue side and maybe put the ball in their court there, but we'll have to see.
Yeah.
Maybe you won't get it at all this series.
That could be the case, too. Maybe they're okay with ZDZ playing it, but okay.
This makes sense.
They're going to drop it. It's going to be Galio Nefiri. It isn't a really nice combo. Being able to get out of the Wombo combo of Vi plus Rumble, at least with that W. Also, the Galio being able to chase. And that Galio, I mean, technically a flex pick. We expect that to just default go into the Rumble, but still an opportunity that rookie plays it, especially if, Angel wanted something like a Rise here, which does not seem to be the case. Looks like they're going to answer AD.
Yeah, and I want to ask, what do you think about Galio and Nefiri as a pairing here? Is that pairing strong enough to give any credence that it'll go in the mid lane?
I do like it. I don't think that it defaults to mid lane, but I think these champions play off each other really nicely. So just helping out with his Death Ball identity. Also, I think the big thing for Galio, if it's going to be Gwen, I think that you have to go Poke Varus, or makes it a lot more likely for Poke Varus. Galio, for me, really opens up that opportunity to still have that on-hit Varus later on. So might be one of the other reasons why they ended up going with that.
Alistar, the first ban in the second half, so Mako won't be stuffing Vi. He's been so good on that champion throughout his career. One of his best ones. Get that one off the board. IG, I assume they'll be aiming at the mid lane here. Victor has been a really successful pick for Angel, even though it's not the greatest with Vi. It can operate just fine. We're going to see that Ahri get taken out. We talked about that really strong duo earlier.
Yeah, no, I don't think that you can play Rise. I think that Rise almost has to be a ban here if you're EDG, which they're going to let through. Because for me, if they pick Rise, the Galio pick goes way up in value, right?
Yeah.
Early game, you can really successfully play into Rise. and really try and snowball, deathball this game forward for IG. It's one of the better pairings with Nefiri, too. So just kind of curious what ends up happening with that pick. I do think there's an opportunity where Ryze is kind of outranged in this game. Like, playing Ryze in the Jhin Rumble Vi doesn't sound fantastic, but it pairs so well with Nefiri, and like, could open up more space for even an on-hit Varus, where I feel like it might still be an option. So, not bad. I will say Rakan, Rel, Leona, the 3 big support picks that we see. I think Rakan for Mako is very valid. And oh god, we haven't even talked about Annie. Annie is blistering filthy OP right now.
She's super strong.
Yeah, but I'm curious now. Again, that leads more credence to a potential. I feel like you can't play Galio into both. He doesn't love his life into Annie, but there's a chance where he can kind of buffer out of stuns, and it's not terrible.
You could just pick Ryze here and just go with your strong mid-jungle duo of Ryze and Nefiri.
I think it's Orianna.
I think it could be too, especially if you're going to go engage like a Rel or Khan, as you pointed out, or even a Leona, to make sure that Galio is able to get easy access to break up these team fights.
Leona provides a lot more reach to try and get to the backline. I like that Solar Flare a lot this game. I think being able to set up for Nefiri plus Galio going in is good. It's now Rookie.
Should be good.
I mean, the ults aren't fantastic, but at least with the Sylas, you can play with Nefiri into mid. So I think it provides that winning 2v2 that JJ and Rookie might be looking for.
All right, well, that's locked in. It's going to be the Sylas for Rookie here in Game 1. EDG going to have to be a little careful with their support pick. Don't really want to give over something super powerful to Rookie. He does have a couple of really good options. He's got the Rumble Equalizer, the Vi Ultimate, which I think are some of the best ones to take.
Yeah, cease and assist could be big. I think there is a lot of reach from this IG comp. They're going to try and deathball and overwhelm what EDG has. But this one goes late. I will say that the Galio versus Rumble matchup, it's really big in the mid game where you just get to beat Galio and exist, but Rumble gets to come back and do more damage later on. I just don't know if it will be like enough damage what EDG has to actually get through IG, because it's a lineup that almost is so tanky. Like, we have seen Annie just straight up drop Tivers and one-shot people, right?
Yeah.
I think IG is tanky enough to actually play around that. But I'm also concerned scaling-wise, like how effective they're going to be throughout this game.
It's going to be a particularly tough matchup for Gala because everybody wants to kill him. 11-1 on this Varus so far in 2025. He will be battle-tested. And one thing we want to do before we get into the game, we have caster predictions to pull up here. As you and I are definitely on the side of IG, nobody on the side of EDG, but you and I, a stark difference. You have them taking it 3-0. I have a 3-1. I'm going to defend my point by saying IG has been really inconsistent this year. I don't know if they can beat a singular team 3 times in a row, no matter if they come from Group Nirvana.
So look at the Rocks Tiger t-shirt on our teammate here. That is, that's what I'm focused on.
Hell yeah.
Is that Rocks or Coup Tigers? Anyway, it's one of the two.
That's a good question.
I like, I shout out to Izzy. Our graphics,
Those are graphics.
Help creating this one. Very base. You said going into this, Yanni, it might be Yin versus Yang. It feels like the predictions are a little bit less so.
It's going to be all Yin and no Yang, I think.
Yeah. Well, so that ends up being the case as, of course, diving into this game 1. All eyes on IG. I think IG have to play fast in order to get ahead in this one.
Summoner's Rift, Game 1 of this best-of-5 series. Let's do it.
All right, we're going to have better Gyos in game 2.
Yeah, I was expecting a little bit more for a playoff series, to be quite honest with you. So we're going to find Angel quickly. Going to take a lot of damage here. He's going to be forced to flash over the wall, so an early win for IG.
All right, you can see here the solo queue, favoring EDG's comp a little bit more early. That is an important flash to lose, as again with the Sylas and Nefiri, really opens up the ability to play into mid lane. And now no flash on Annie. Gotta imagine that's going to be punished. This again is a very winning 2v2 for Rookie and JJ, just with the champions that they've ended up drafting for this one. So a little bit concerned early on for Angel and EDG. As you can see, Rookie checking to see where Xiaohao starts. Not going to be the Raptors. So probably red buff assumed, and we're diving in.
The good news for Angel is that that flash should be back up around the time for Xiaohao and Angel to potentially make their first play. We did talk about how a lot of Vi's best pairings are off the board. However, the ultimates between these two champions are definitely really synergistic. The problem is the champion, Annie, has a harder time moving around than a Talia, than an Ahri, right? So we're going to have to look for Angel to be very on top of his map movements and get to where Xiaohao wants to go quickly. Congratulations to Rookie, by the way. 1,000 games. Third in the LPL.
I mean, Rookie IG legend as well. I know that we talked about some of the history with his teammates in EDG, but yeah, I was there for Season 5 Worlds where I was watching him get griefed by Cacao, my old goat.
Yeah. You got to remember him and the Shy winning a title together, you know? Like,
yeah, of course, that
This
too.
team is with great duos and then Gala. Nothing wrong with that. That sounds good to me.
Absolutely. All right. You can see Hellblade's picked by Gala, so potential for still some Poke Varus this game. I do think a Poke Varus actually has a lot of value. Again, pretty squishy comp here for EDG, just with that Rumble top. And we see JJ with the invade again, priority. And JJ gonna just wipe this one away. So between mid flash being down, maybe Angel not being able to play quite as aggressively, and then bot Prio. Good opener for IG, just securing JJ a free blue buff, and yeah, I can play the Angel. He's no flash. He's got to play back, respect it, and he's just going to lose out.
Yeah, fantastic stuff. Nefiri being one of those champions that can get in and do things. Gala forced to use both of his summoners as a Wink had a nice engage there. Xiaohao was hunting around, and he will take the crab for himself. We'll see if they pay a repeat visit to the bot.
Sidestep from Mako. He's going to walk out of that one okay, and his AD will base. Of course, both sums now down for Gala, but IG should be okay with that. Is JJ off to a really nice start, as of course Xiaohao did lose out on that camp, and the Fury going to be really important this game. I think that if IG is stacking up that lead on the Fury and kind of surviving the first couple of Vi Annie combos while people are squishy enough, where Vi Annie might be able to do more work against the IG comp, that's a good start.
Shout out our Twitch chatters with their predictions here. I gotta be honest with you. I really think more of them should be in tune with IG. But hey, they've been watching IG just like we have, and they know that IG is liable to just have some issues sometimes.
I know that we have a couple mods that are longtime EDG enjoyers as well, as we've been blessed with some LPL history.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. That might be swaying the vote a bit.
Yeah, looking at you, Marakoof.
We love them all the same. Gala wants in for a little bit of a short trade there, which means that Wink can't get in. Good stuff. Solo there. So Mako is moving around. And right now, Xiaohao seems kind of homeless.
I mean, he should be cleaning up the next few of his camps, but potential of after the Raptors to actually do something. This clear from JJ has been really nice, though, as he's going to first back. Yep. Looks like it's going to be that Spear of Shojin Rush for the Nefiri. I do like that quite a bit. As getting more buttons, really nice on this champion.
Yeah, JJ going to deploy on the bot lane here. He's going to go do his Krugs. This dragon is available. It is a Ken-Tech dragon. We don't often see teams immediately rip it anymore unless they win a big fight. And right now with no level 6s, I can't imagine anything crazy is going to go down just yet.
So I think the good news so far for EDG is that they were able to survive with mid being down flash. I say that, Angel still missing flash. Sure? Did just net 6, but there's a couple seconds where Angel still doesn't have it. JJ lying in wait. Angel going to pay respect and back off.
TP takes too long, man. That change has killed plays like that, which makes me sad at times. As a nice sneak in here. Oh, this could be bad.
This could be real bad.
Yeah, but Ana's going to have to link up. All right, we're seeing a lot of damage go down on Mako. He does get rooted up, but here comes the rest of the team. JJ here first. They're going to go look for Xiaohao as Mako goes down. It's going to be first blood going over to the Vi, and Ana's going to force away Gala. Really sneaky play there from EDG.
Gala's no Psalms doesn't get picked up by the Deadly Flourish.
Might be
still
dead
under
here.
threat.
He is going to get slowed. One more auto might kill him. No, he lives on a sliver, but a flash from On gets the job done. And now JJ going to have to try to clean up Wink here, and he will be able to take him down. Xiaohao is here, and the root will not land because the Fury has that untargetability, but really good stuff out of EDG early.
Yeah, nice trap laid by Wink and Xiaohao. No, I said for EDG. We do like how Wink plays at times in this bot lane. Definitely a support that we felt like was a little bit better than the other supports in Group Nirvana. Maybe a player that should have been down there. And good to see him set up a nice trap for EDG, and it's been a decent start for Wink. Obviously did go down in that fight, but well worth it trading up. Getting Gawa's summoner spells out ended up paying off there as he played a nice trap.
Yeah, we wanted them to revisit, and they did. And, you know, for as little as we've seen of EDG, we did talk about how Xiaohao and Wink are going to be the big drivers for EDG to see some success, and you saw it right there. If they continue to make plays like that, IG are going to have to pull out all of their power. They're going to have to use 100% of their strength.
Yeah, I still think that, speaking of IG strength, right, full strength for them, level 6 coming in. They need to be healthy enough to survive this Vianney. So I think that not fighting right now, like this is where you're really squishy and really vulnerable to these combos once Vi does get 6 in. The fact that Fury's ahead does help. So Fury's going to be likely the one that's, you know, going to be finding these fights and combos. But again, I think this mid game for IG, once you can kind of survive that, so maybe the 1 item or 2 items for Varus is where they're really going to be looking to play. I think that big thing for them just being able to set up first to make sure they're getting poked down on the EDG. And making sure that they're at least healthy enough to survive the combo. Because again, that's really my theory of this draft for IG, like what I see, is it felt like they took a top side that's big enough where you can't get one shot by Vianney. And even if Fury has the W to play around it, hopefully, right? Yeah. So it kind of feels like that's the logic here for IG is, at the moment, they're the ones that are hitting the grubs for free. So we have a rotation come out from them, and Dragon's yet to be started by Xiaohao. So IG a little bit ahead on the play in the trade we have here.
Yep, now he's going to start it up. We'll see if there's any plays going on. We see a lot of on-the-way pings coming down to that Dragon, perhaps.
They should fight this.
They want to fight. Wink is going to be able to drop a ward down Rookie. Not a full mana right now. Looking pretty good on health, but it looks like he'll take his recall here. As the Dragon, no longer being done, Xiaohao had pulled off, went back into his jungle, so overall good for IG.
Who's going to go top? Okay, so they dropped the top wave in order to bring Varus down and try and contest this Dragon, which I like a lot. Again, Varus having the Dirk, being the poke Varus, quite strong. If you are able to contest, you can see Angel really having to respect the range of Gala, who does have his summoner spells back up. So it doesn't look like they're fully committing to actually hitting this Dragon, as it has been started by Xiaohao, and he's going to pull it out. But with Mako on reset, that might be enough to secure it for EDG. But with IG making those calls and rotations, it did look like they were going to try and play for that for a heartbeat, but deciding to recall, reset, and we'll see what they can get on their next set of plays.
Yeah, and credit to EDG. They had great vision, and now they have to give vision to go to Regala here. He just has everything thrown on top of him, and Wink is the one who claims his life.
Dragon was taken. He had no one on map. Like, both sides weren't shoving. I think that's just a mid-wave that you give. Gala not wanting to give it. That is what EDG's comp can do, and that's a pretty easy freebie kill going over to EDG.
Yeah, right now EDG looking pretty solid. It's a small gold lead, but they were able to at least trade out the objectives. They got the Feat of Warfare too. It's just a matter of what's going to happen next. What's the next play? And it looks like they might be looking to take out ZDZ.
Yeah, I think, I mean, one of the really nice parts about Galio into Rumble, the gank assist that you're able to bring, if it is going to be a look from JJ, as with Mako being up there too, I do think that the ability to overload and overwhelm Rumble in the side lane, very real if you were playing this combo. But at the moment, it's still going to be JJ just getting fed. So it feels like IG just kind of still waiting to see when the time's right for them.
Yeah, and you know what? The longer they wait, it still benefits them. As long as this game doesn't get out of control, they should be in okay shape. We know that Rookie probably going to wait till he gets tanky here. He's not quite done with that Rod of Ages. Once he gets that, starts getting stacked up, that's really when he's going to survive a lot of this damage that you mentioned earlier, right? This Angel engage. I
mean, look, if it goes late, I actually like EDG's comp later on. Angel's going to fall off, but like Jhin and Rumble do outscale their counterparts. It just is going to be a question, is there enough gas in the tank for anti-Jhin plus a Rumble to get through this front line? Honestly, for me, that's a little bit of wait and see. I don't know the answer of it. I think that's the logic of each team, but kind of curious to see how this one plays out.
Really nice stuff there from Rookie. He was able to get 2 plates. I think he lost that third plate.
That's 3.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I think he was at a range.
He got a Roa. Yeah.
Yeah, he definitely got a few. You see JJ up here smiting down ZDZ, looking for a little bit more. There's just no CC, right? So all you got is some barking dogs, and that's about it, man.
I mean, that's a really good double Q trade, actually, from JJ. As ZDZ kind of misplaying that one, stepping up again. And we'll see how much the Shy wants to mess around with his recall. I think there's a world where JJ can stay up there and they can look for a dive. But with him being spotted top, Xiao Hao is down bot. Angel's here, flashless, but a potential look for plays.
Okay, uses the W, drops the ultimate down. And he's dealing with Honor in a 1v1, forces on to flash.
I really like how JJ, at least, you know, he got the boots, got the Spear of Shojin, and he's trying to make his presence felt.
Yeah.
Getting some couple positives up on that top side. Did get the TP out of ZDZ and got the flash out of On. We'll see if IG can find the revisits. Again, the ability to overwhelm, overload with the melee is definitely very real for IG. Just going to have to see if they can cash in on some of these summoner spells being done.
I think we're really waiting to see Rookie get this rod stacked up a little bit longer. Next objective in 1 minute and 45 seconds. We know EDG, this is the time that they really want to pull the trigger. I'd love to see Rumble come down for one of these plays, drop a nice equalizer, get IG in disarray, and that could be a fight that breaks the game open.
Yeah, see if Rumble's able to get that Beyondries here before this Dragon, if he does indeed come down. As I still think it's a world where IG, minute before, I want to see, I mean, the best role for them is if they get controlled, right? You have Poke Varus, you have these melees. If you are able to get in here first, chip down some health bars, and then set up for the fight from there. I think that's what IG's looking for sure with their AD here in Gawa.
Just take a look at what Mako has done.
Spawns.
Yeah, we talked a little bit about it earlier, and how good this guy actually is. Just look to see him make big plays to stymie EDG's advance. So they're taking away this blue buff, looking to get down a little bit of vision. And again, Xiao Hao is going to be missing a blue buff. Tough, yeah, tough world. Okay, we're going to go for the play onto Angel here.
Mako
lands the Zenith Blade. Stun goes out. We don't have enough to actually take him down.
So that's pretty big. I mean, Angel has TP. So with a couple skills being used, that might be enough to actually, you know, get back to the full health bar and try and contest this Dragon. Of course, Tiber's not going to be available as Malignance was completed. So a big spell taken away from EDG for this fight, but you see Angel TPing back instantly. It's health bar advantage and control for EDG as this one spawns.
Yeah, Mako had to take it back here, so does mean that, as you said, EDG has control over this river. Their vision game's been really, really good. Consistently warding these chickens, knowing where JJ is going to be. Respect the hell out of it. So we are seeing Xiao Hao head up to the top side here. Maybe looking to make a play on the Shy. Equalizer's going to come down. The Shy's going to be able to avoid most of it.
Well played.
Easy will be able to get some good damage in, but it's a little too late for Xiao Hao.
Well played by the Shy. That Justice Punch backwards pretty much got him out of the entire equalizer that's being dealt with the wave. He survives. Xiao Hao being on the top side. It's going to be the first brick secured for IG bot.
Okay, the ultimate's going to land onto On, but Mako couldn't do much more. On will take good damage. Galo will be forced to burn the cleanse. We do see Xiao Hao on this Rift Herald right now, so it might just be another objective trade, although Mako is on his way up.
I don't think it should be a trade here, as... Oh, okay, we're getting a little feisty.
Frisky.
I mean, the Shy did TP back.
All right, the Smite's going to go down, and they're going to drop everything they have onto the Vi. Xiao Hao is going to get taunted up, but they don't have the damage. They will force the flash on.
And they deny the eye. So this is pretty much objective null and void. You can see Mako bodyguarding that, and if they're able to deny that, that's a pretty big win for IG.
Yeah, it's gone. That's a huge time investment where EDG couldn't get anything, right? They don't get a kill during it. Meanwhile, IG get their Dragon. They get first turret as well. There was a lot of good gold split between JJ and Rookie. This is where the map game, this is where perhaps the difference in games played comes into play.
I really like the boldness there of Mako and the Shy just realizing, hey, I TP'd back. I'm strong. There's no equalizer on ZDZ. We can fight this, right? No flash now on Xiao Hao. That is something that might be able to be punished. As at the moment, the Shy He's a big boy down here. And yeah, he's pretty comfortable fighting with the Annie. Gonna drop the cannon minion with the trade, but does find a positive trade at that. As Tibbers comes down. And, man, did you see Galio's health bar go down there? I didn't really see it. As ZDZ was trying to TP, they stopped it.
Oh, that's a big stop. They're going to have to try to 3v1 the Shy, make it a 4v1, but the Shy with the moves, he is going to get hit up. Oh, no, he's not. On was only able to actually land one of those 4 shots. Takes a lot of time. They take him down.
I thought the Shy played that really well. I don't know if a flash was actually worth it. He does go down either way. Wink got low, but wasn't going to be at threat of being killed. That said, with the tempo, the time that the Shy bought, look what IG is able to do. They won out on the grubs, of course, so the top outer falls. You can see top, or mid outer, also going to fall here to Gala and JJ. So that play from the Shy, able to buy some time. At least speeds up the trades for IG, and they win out 2 towers to 1.
Really good stuff. And now Gala, I mean, look, he's even on gold with On, who has, you know, been pretty even in farm, but has gotten 100% kill participation. Obviously, Xiao Hao has done some things, but, you know, they're even on gold. Let's take a look at this replay. As you mentioned, the Shy played this about as well as he could.
Yeah, the Justice Punch is the big one, right? And the way that EDG played it, Xiao Hao was the one tanking first, so we had to drop it quickly. Honestly, it was well played by Wink to pick it back up and be able to chase it through in the end, as the Shine did a decent job of trying to kill the wave to the best of his abilities, but a little bit mismanaged there from EDG for me. Ends up being why the Shy was able to buy some time and make sure that his team could get 2 turrets to 1 in the big picture trade. So now, getting back here, you can see IG a little bit more real estate to play with all the outer turrets gone. That's good news for JJ, who with the Black Cleaver coming in, can really get up in the face of Vi and try and win out on this 1v1, try and deny some camps away from Xiao Hao. As I'm very much in IG's favor now.
Yeah, we could really see Xiao Hao get starved out, and that would be bad news for the side of EDG. It's starting to happen a little bit as they want to make a big play on the Angel. Stun doesn't land, but they do force the flash out of Annie.
I think, flash on Annie, nice. I think kind of good that Mako didn't connect that scene to play. That would have been a one-way trade for sure. As, again, you can see that the waves are really nice right now for IG. They're able to get this one pretty much all the way to +2 with some help. They've been catching mid. As the Shy, curiously enough right now, the Shy, he's catching the top wave, and ZDZ using that time with the push he had to actually walk down. Might be a look for EDG, but IG seeing the rumble mid, gonna sneak their way on out of there. So, well played here by IG. By surviving that play, they're gonna win out on both side ends again, and again put EDG in a box.
Yeah, and it feels like EDG is just getting dragged around the map, right? They are just a little too late to these plays, and, you know, a big issue... Yeah, a big issue is that there's a lot of flashes down, right? Like, Xiao Hao is now just going to have his flash up. Didn't have it for that fight, which means he can't actually chase anybody. Angel isn't going to have the flash Tibbers for a long time. Wink, his main engage, gets lessened. And, you know, this next objective fight, I mean, it just feels like EDG is going to have to give this one, too. Otacon in 17, and the Dragon in about a minute.
For me, this is where IG's comp is really strong. I know that EDG set the Varus behind. But still, Varus at this break point at 2 items is good. Man, Black Cleaver now in for the Fury. It's going to really help with Thality Varus if they are able to sync up their damage. You can see the Shy almost has a second item. Rookie does have that Riftmaker and nearly a fully evolved Roa. So he's going to be a problem. As it's going to be a Rylai's for the Annie. I will say that the Andres was nerfed in this patch. If you guys at home want to check it out, always shout out to Viger V2, who always puts out his thoughts on itemization. Was talking about how Chovy went Rylai's on his Azir Pentakill, one that I really liked. But less the Andres.
Combat, perhaps?
More Rylai's.
On the Wink. On doing what he can to get some damage out, but the stun is going to come out on the Wink. He's going to be forced to use his ultimate. Rookie coming through. He does have that Vi ultimate. Teleport was forced out of the Shy, but that's A-okay because IG will claim the Dragon.
Oh, yeah, he wants to drop that TP and make sure this Dragon's secure. They can maybe play Otacon after. You can see Mako going to be spotted by Ward. Rookie is not, though.
Ultimate. Rookie immediately getting burned down, and the Vi ultimate goes on to him. Hero's entrance coming down as well. They put Xiao Hao in the bounce house, but the anti-stun comes through. Xiao Hao, though, getting low, will finally fall, and the root lands on his EDZ. He will flash, and he will getting good damage, but finally go down. Mako is low and gets fourth shot by On, as now JJ in a bit of trouble. He's got to hop over the wall, but On is healthy. Tibbers is running him down. JJ has to use his W to go invulnerable and is forced to flash out. So it ends up, in the end, being a 3-for-3 overall, even though the objective went to IG.
Rylai is kind of working overtime there with Tibbers, and we'll say EDG could get back onto the map first. I was a little bit surprised it was a 3-for-3. I thought that IG were going to win that pretty heavily once they went over the wall, and the Verisalt connected onto the Rumble. ZDZ, though, Burn Flash actually bought a lot of time getting out of the Piercing Arrow. I want a second look at this one. Wink, you're going to be too far up. Waves are not set up for him to be here at all. Wink is too deep, and it's a good start to the fight from Mako. They take him down for free. That's going to be the objective. With Rookie, they decide not to engage on him. We're going to speed up, and Rookie just getting caught out again. There's a ward here. Rookie is spotted on a control ward. ZDZ, nice trap, overheats. Gets a lot of damage down onto Rookie, who is relatively ineffective in this fight. But for me, the turn is the Shy in the back half ends up melting to On. I thought the fight was very one here for IG, but this flash from ZDZ buys a decent amount of time. He gets a lot more damage down as they kind of ignore him, just thinking that he's dead. And then Mako overcommits into the Rylai's Annie and enables EDG to actually find an even 2v2.
You know what I think it might have been, Cubby? I think it was a vision difference for a hot second.
A little bit, yeah.
I think they were all out of the bush, and they didn't have a ward in it. So that allowed ZDZ to get off that overheated Flame Spitter.
Good call.
And
good
the
call.
auto attacks. That's crazy.
It was.
A really good fight out of ZDZ and On.
I mean, I know that he flashed and died, but what a high-value flash to get another overheat, really pump down some damage, and again, help ensure that that was a 3-for-3, nothing more. And before that, if he doesn't flash that Piercing Arrow and he goes down instantly, that's a really advantageous fight for IG. So props to ZDZ. Well played. Some in-flight mechanics, though.
Yeah, the only issue is JJ was able to pick up 2 kills. He is very strong at this juncture. He can one-shot almost anybody. If he times it well, can go on Angel and avoid a stun. It is going to be pretty skill testing there, but we'll see if he's able to get that job done as this game definitely not out of reach. 23 minutes in, Cubby. I don't think that anybody thought we would be here in a game that is decided by less than 1,000 gold with EDG leading in kills.
Angel. Okay, they're getting a little bit scared. Yeah, this is the other nice thing for the Galio pick. Why I was a little bit surprised to see the Annie. Galio can just kind of walk in and catch whatever, which is really nice for the Shy. And I like how IG is using this between him and Leona, being able to actually brute force their way down, clear some of these brushes, which can be really dangerous against the Annie Vi composition. So IG able to at least get some control over here and going to return to catch the waves. All good from them. As got one to go for Edge of Night. You can see On actually was able to fish it off there. Definitely going to be something to look out for here.
Okay, we're going to take a little bit of damage. JJ here as well. It's just a lot of posturing in the river. Is Angel going to get slowed up, force the flash away once again. It's been on cooldown all game long.
That's why I really like the Leona this game for IG and Mako. Just the ability to fish for flashes and have that reach. Again, it's a deathball comp for IG. I think that if they're able to overload, overwhelm EDG, that's the move at the moment.
Flash.
Otacon at half. The Shy holding the choke.
You don't have vision. Xiaohao going to go in. They're going to target the Shy. Rookie landing the stun with the Tibbers. Xiaohao gets blown up. Wink gets to the back line, pulls them all in. Tibbers from Angel trying to do good work, but it's not that much damage. They are slowed up a ton as they continue to push the fight. But ZDZ once again, good flame spinner damage. On doesn't die. Rookie gets rooted. ZDZ is pulling them down. So much damage. On gets the double kill, and EDG are fighting hard.
Look, the first fight, I thought that ZDZ played it really well, and I was surprised it was even. This time, IG, they overcommitted into the choke, trying to get through this Rylai's Annie, which is actually doing a great job against this composition, Yanni. Again, 4 melees, the mileage that Rylai's is getting in these fights, buying space for On Angel to back off, it's huge. It's another big opener for IG. The engage comes down onto the Shy, but Xiaohao catches everything as multiple R's burn for him. And from here, I mean, Wink goes in. Just don't push through the poke. Go return to the Otacon. But they try and find the massive fight. Everyone's health bar is full. On's still able to pump out damage. And they actually can't get through the choke, can't get through the Rumble and the Rylai's Annie. So not returning to the objective, really going to bite IG there. As the big opener to the fight, they kind of throw away.
Yeah, and we're split too. Mako goes deep.
Yeah.
And he dies for it. I mean, you know, the former EDG product, JJ, holding up his end of the bargain, but Mako perhaps a little bit of love for his last team, or his first team, I should say. You know, not playing up to his standards. The equalizer comes down. He's going to have a big fight. Look at the backside here as they layer the CC down onto the carry. Xiaohao will fall on the backside, stuck in a 3v1, and they will find him too. And
Mako!
See how the rest of the fight goes. Mako is in the back. He needs help. JJ will go link up with him to make sure that he is able to survive. A 2-0 for IG, and objective secured at Soul Point.
I didn't see how On got to the point he was, but he was split. And the fact that the engage from IG, which was good, it split the Jhin, but I think the approach from EDG was flawed there. As Jhin being low on that fight with everyone else kind of being closer to mid, that's a really awkward one for me, for EDG. I think it really helped IG push through that fight. And hey, IG really fixed the flaws we saw in the last two fights, Yanni, with them overcommitting into this Rylai Zanny. This time around, check this replay.
Oh, wow.
You're going to see, I guess, Rookie able to sneak on in. And again, On just ending up, I don't like where On walks here. I think that he's too far down. He's got to play with Angel. It's a great angle from Rookie, and the fight just entirely split by IG from the start. With Rookie being in fog with that Cease and Assist, having a big opener, then IG not overcommitting this time, sticking to the spells, the shotgun comp they have off the bat, unable to walk EDG down from there.
Yeah, I think that, you know, On's probably feeling himself a little bit, has felt good about these fights. It's just that EDG had no idea where Rookie could be. They didn't think it was fathomable that he would be behind them.
I agree. I think regardless, you still, like, overcommitting into that choke is tough. Yeah. Committing into that choke the way he did is hard. So, I think it's a really good punish for Rookie.
You know? So,
yeah.
That's why it's, you know, a little bit too aggressive there. Sure, it could have worked out if Rookie wasn't there, but guess what? He was. Now that means that IG are in full control at this point. Nearly 3,000 gold up. We're doing the dance on the top side of the map here as IG looking to clear out all these wards. Get all this vision down. CDZ is overheated. Jaha forced out of his top side jungle here. So Rookie shoves in on the top side.
Like seeing the Merc Treads evolve is being bought here by IG.
Very good.
Of course, they got feats, and that boot being 500 gold definitely up in value is the Shy found. He's stuck.
Well, the good news for him is that he's so tanky, although he does get chunked out hard. The equalizer stolen had gone down, and now they go all the way in. Xiaohao will fall. Mako on the wrong side of the tracks, though, as the curtain call is opened up. He gets tagged with 2, but he'll be just fine. Gala getting tagged as well. And now the 1v1 between Rookie and ZDZ is won by Rookie for the moment.
I think Gala might be able to fish with the piercing arrow. Did find ZDZ as the poke comes in. Look at Angel, though.
Oh, okay. Flash W, that Incinerate doing good damage. And now Timbers is chasing down Gala, but JJ is chasing down Angel. And going in is Rookie. On the backside is all alone. He's stuck with a stolen Timbers, chasing him down, as well as JJ. And the former third prince of EDG might have just driven the stake through the heart in game 1.
I mean, everything in this fight was burned on the Shy. And while the angle for Angel might have looked nice, there was not nearly enough gas in the tank for EDG to actually make that fight happen. It's a wipe for IG, and a potential Baron here is the Shy TPing in. And yeah, it looks like this one's going to be taken for free.
And finally, we see IG come through. A creative route by Rookie with the sweep was all it took to put this game in their hands. They just had to win that singular fight up top. Let's take a look at the replay, Cubby, as the Shy gets caught out early.
Yeah, again, like he has to flash and he's stuck, but look at how much goes into the Shy. Wink does not need to ult there. Tibbers, Equalizer, like everything gets thrown out. As after that, it ends up being Rookie just buying some time. And the re-engage from Angel, like while the angle looks nice, the R keys are just not available for EDG.
Take a look at picture-in-picture. We do see a bit of a fight going on.
They're going to get chased out.
The Silas ultimate is used on the Vi.
Yeah, but like this isn't the fight for On. And On gets zoned out. Everyone from IG just able to easily kite back there. It was not nearly enough, close enough to being reached there for EDG to actually threaten. But again, well, it was a nice angle from Angel in isolation, but with the R keys gone, not nearly enough tools to follow up and make that one impactful. So a big win for IG. I mean, they have really cracked open this game, and it's looking to be a game 1 win after that series.
Yeah, Rookie isn't going to give much love for that fight just because he marked ZDZ and kept him out. But think about how good ZDZ has been playing these fights. That is
he won the 1v1.
Huge win there for Rookie. Yeah. He has done so much in these last 2 fights, even if it isn't super flashy. He is getting the job done.
Between that and the ego, or you know, the presence, the aura of the Shy, baiting all the ultimates into him, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Listen, there's only one man who could be more Giga Chad than the Shy. It could be ZDZ, but right now, he's out of the fight. The Shy only going to land the taunt on the 1. It's Xiaohao. Just going to get shielded up, go back in. Equalizer coming down. Not doing a ton of damage. as the curtain call will be out. They will block for the Shy. He will be able to leave. But the Siege is not looking great for IG. They're forced to back off, but they do have the Ocean Soul waiting for them. Okay, we're going to land ultimates down, going all the way in on Angel. He gets chunked out, and he falls. They're going to try to turn it around onto JJ, but he's able to escape, and he wants back in. He will fall. Xiaohao and On are out, but Rookie teleporting behind,
ZDZ.
just mogging them, looking at them. ZDZ so low, trying to heat back up. Wink needs to do whatever he can to make sure that ZDZ stays alive. He's on a damn sliver as Rookie's level 18, looking for a little bit more. Dash is over, but again, Wink body blocking, but he might give his life for it. Rookie switches targets, will find ZDZ dashing forward and slaying the king.
This side was just all of a sudden it's Thanos on the map with level 18 Riftmaker Roa. That was a great TP and play from ZDZ. I know the EDG don't win out of that, but look at how far behind they are. The fact they get a fight that close off the play from ZDZ, that is a really big win for EDG. Rookie just a little bit too big to deal with, but do want to give EDG some deserved props for even just finding that angle, Yanni. That was a really good look for them.
Yeah, it's just a damn shame that these waves were pushing against them.
It's Ocean Soul, yeah.
That
was their
lost
last ditch.
2 turrets,
yeah.
Not even from a siege. It is so difficult for them to, you know, just outright win a fight at this point, and it's only going to get harder.
I mean, it's Ocean Soul.
IG,
Ocean Soul, I don't think it... Ocean Soul is a state of mind, in the words of our great producer, Kelsey Moser, at times. There are some games where it's effective, some games where it's not. I think that this game for IG, just given all the melees that they do have, being able to be a little bit of damage back off, heal it back up, is nice.
Yeah.
But yet another objective and a big boost going IG's way. As I think this game was definitely a little bit closer, a little bit more competitive than what we thought going in, Yanni, but I don't feel like IG has been the team out of control. I feel like this one was closer just because we overcommitted into the Rywise Annie and underestimated that a couple times, right? It still feels like IG has been the one dictating the game.
Yeah, you know, from a caster perspective, I haven't really thought that IG were in danger of losing this game. There were times where if it's like, hey, if EDG gets off another one of those good fights that they had, then maybe IG are in danger at this point.
Right.
But it never happened. It was close, but it never ended up happening. And that's why EDG finds the position that they're in right now. Equalizer that is stolen is going to be burnt by Rookie. I like the thought here by Angel.
It's necessary. You can see the poke from Vera is really adding up here.
It's so tough.
And there's an Edge and 9 on Gala. They can't come off
yet.
They're going.
Angel, they're just going to dump everything they have on Gala. They'll take him down, but Angel going to get engaged on and look at the backside. The Shy and Rookie are mogging the back line. Rookie is going to be able to slide out. Now Xiaohao down to half HP, but the Shy is forced to flash away. It's just a 1-for-1 for now, but Rookie does have the Vi ultimate if he wants more.
Ocean Soul. Yeah, Ocean Soul too. I think they're just going to back off and yoink stuff. I will say, throwing everything to Gala, I mean, he doesn't have a TP. We've seen him be effective. Again, I just think it's too much for EDG to handle. As they're gonna try and fight this one out to keep it close, make it look close, but just doesn't feel like it's close still. Yeah, here, goodbye On.
Oh, On!
No sums.
Oh, they had no idea. They're like, yeah, man, IG must have backed off. No, IG have no chill. Wink will land a fine stun, but it doesn't matter because Xiaohao is going to be the next target, and he will go into stasis. Mako on the backside, marking ZDZ. JJ is there too. ZDZ will be able to at least find that kill, but I'm sure Mako is more than happy to give his life for an IG victory. ZDZ between 2 turrets, trying to burn JJ alive, but is unable to do so as the minions are pouring into the base. It's Angel, it's ZDZ versus the Shy Rookie, and JJ, the Equalizer, is going to go down. So is Timbers, but it's not doing a damn thing. Rookie's too tanky, the Shy's too tanky, the taunt is down, and so is the Rumble, as Angel is on the steps of the base and can't do a damn thing with the stolen Timbers running him down. Next is exposed. IG outlasts CDG in game 1.
Nice game 1 win for IG. I think that if you're an IG fan taking it home, your boy Rookie actually looked really good in that one. I know in the back half of the split, Rookie has had a couple games where he hasn't been quite as solid, but man, to have Rookie step up on that Silas, a champ, you know, if we're going to talk about history between these two teams, 2 orgs that have hoisted that world trophy for the LPL. I remember Rookie Silas being pretty damn good back then. Always good to see him pop off on that one. And for EDG, a little bit more competitive than what we thought coming in. Might look for a more interesting night than what we had on our slate, Yanni.
Absolutely. They were hanging tough in that first game, really being proactive. Now, of course, it is a composition where you're expecting them to be proactive. You do have the Rel, you've got Jin Roots, you've got Vi. Like, this is something that we definitely expected. I actually think that as good as the Annie ended up being in some of these close quarters fights, a big reason why EDG were not able to run over the game earlier is because they didn't have a better mid-jungle pairing, right? We did talk about how
I agree.
Annie can't move nearly as well as Talia, as the Ari, even if you elected to go maybe something like a Rise, which they elected not to go. You know, you do have the Realm Warp to be able to move around, so it was a little bit harder. But they did put a lot of pressure down on the Angel. This guy never had flash up.
I think that's the thing for me. Again, like, Annie does have the potential to make plays and to set up for your jungler, but Vi is not the highest damage jungler to pair up with the Annie. And when you're removing those flashes from Annie and making it so that she really can't step up past the halfway point, it's tough. So I think that's the big difference for me. It really slowed down that game on the EDG side. And then IG, they got tanky enough. They've had 2 fights where I don't feel like they played it right. But, hey, after that, they really did patch things up on their own. Said, hey, we can't overcommit into the Annie guys. First round of spells. Whatever we get, right? And then EDG, when they tried to find that re-engage in that top ender, that's really what cracked the game open.
Yeah, and when you think about those fights, they were going even in kills. I think there was only one of those fights where they actually lost out on kills. Again, it was never like, oh, EDG killed them and they can do something. They can take the Otacon.
Exactly right.
They can go take an objective. They can go take a turret. It was never going to happen for them. And that's a big reason why that IG, was able to outlast them and win this game, because sure, they may have lost the fight, but what, they went 2 for 2? They went 2 for 1? Like, all right, that's fine. Plus 300, sure, you can have that.
Yeah, potentially. And hey, for that first game, of course, this is best of 5s with Fearless. If you guys are at home, of course, we're not going to see those champions again. And side select goes to the losers until game 5, where we will get a 1v1 if we do end up there.
If we get there in this series, awesome series. Absolute bang.
I'm going to need some more coffee. I didn't prepare for 5.
Absolutely.
I'm going to be honest, Yanni. I don't think we were not expecting 5 up here. But of course, as we go into the post-match history, I think the other big story of this one, while the early game they were able to milk flashes like out of Annie and find some positives there, it really was JJ farming up, and that paid off big time. As he's got to be probably rookie MVP maybe, but probably stole some thunder away from JJ. But JJ's economy, once he got the Shojin and then he got on the map to use it, was actually quite nice for IG. I do like how they played in the Fury out in that game.
Yeah, if you want to talk about how well you piloted your champion, it's got to go to JJ, right? But if you want to talk about who made the most impactful plays in the game, if anybody other than Rookie gets this MVP, that is absurd. That is crazy. This guy single-handedly turned the game around. They were at that point where we talked about, like, hey, if EDG win one more fight, they could start taking control of this game, and Rookie shut that down. Honorable mention to the loser, ZDZ, was so good in this game.
I thought ZDZ actually had a really nice game, and the Shy played good too, but that Rumble got a lot of value. So
you did say it, that later on the Rumble would have gotten big, and it wouldn't really matter how the early game went for the Shy. And I mean, Rumble was unabated this game.
I mean, they gave him percent max health damage and percent magic pen in his kit. I don't agree with that one, Riot. That's just me. Fortunately, the Andres was nerfed, which is a nerf to Rumble on this patch. But you can still see the priority that teams are putting on him, and rightfully so. You get priority. You have scaling. And then this was the one that broke the camel's back again. The engage from Angel, no one's going to argue that this isn't nice on your screen, but there was no Tibbers and not enough follow-up. On wasn't in range to really do some work here. And this was the big change in the game, and what we ended up having here, Yanni.
And this is the difference, right, between how many games you've played, right? I think EDG, if presented with a scenario like that more, they realize, hey, we have to back off this turret. We have to just give it. And you're not losing Annie Flash. You're not losing your other 2 members on the backside. You're probably not losing the Baron. This Annie Flash could have been big for the next fight, right? You get to reset, maybe look for a big Flash Tibbers down. But unfortunately, because they lost that fight, it made life very difficult. And Rookie, of course, TPing here, just staring at him, just looking sturdy and doing so much damage.
Rookie saw like everyone get to 1 HP here, and he's like, "Oh my god! If I just had one more page in the book, I could have cleared out 2 of these kills." Rookie ended up being a big playmaker in the back half of this one. Again, I think that's a really good sign if you're an IG fan. Rookie is someone who I think in the middle of the split was actually playing really well when things were ballistic for IG. Rookie for me was the solid piece. Then the rest of IG started playing better. We saw Rookie's form for me dip a little bit, but this was good form, of course, on the Silas, a champion that I always somewhat associate with Rookie just because of the strength of Silas at Season 8 Worlds and the ability for IG to play it back then with Rookie himself. So it was a fun one for sure. And we'll see if EDG can keep on at least playing decent game plans. Again, I don't think EDG were not the better team. They weren't coming into this, but they were able to at least turn the few mistakes that IG had with extending those fights too long. They turned it around. I don't think they played out their comp like terribly by any means, right?
Yeah, they played pretty respectably.
Yeah, might be in for a closer series than we thought.
Yeah, and you know, we also thought that, remember, EDG we thought was a team that was probably going to make it to Group Ascend.
Yeah,
I mean, at the time, Team WE didn't look very good. And
I was hoping it was LGD, you know.
Yeah, it's just so crazy how it happened that they, you know, because EDG were at 15 minutes, at 18 minutes, winning early games versus a team like BLG, who, now we know at the time, maybe was not playing at the peak of their powers, but still looked quite good. So it's nice to see them at least get their shot against a big top-end Group Ascend team. Here's our player of the game. It is Rookie, to what should be nobody's surprise after what he did on the Rift.
Yeah, faker, playmaker in this game for Rookie.
Yes,
know?
sir.
It was one of those games on the Silas. Was a really big performance from him. And, yeah, I think that Rookie, if he can maintain this form, I mean, that's something that could be really scary for IG. We always talk about this team, the individual prowess they have, just being able to piece it together has really been the question. And the challenge for them this year, great performance from Rookie as they piece together that Game 1 win. We'll see what happens in Game 2.
Well played out of Rookie. It's break time for us, but before we do that, we do need to talk about how grateful we are to our coffee and our YouTube subscribers. You guys help us level up the show. A lot of the initial payments go into upgrading the broadcast, but a bulk of them goes to paying on-air talent and our content creators. Subscribe to our coffee, which will be linked in the chat. You can unlock perks like early access to content and the ability to ask interview questions for our unique on-site interviews. 2 really, really good perks. Again, go check us out there. We're going to go ahead and take a short break. When we return, we're going to hit you with some MOBA Trainer before we get into the draft for Game 2. See you on the other side.
Take a moment right here, feeling like it's out gear. Driving towards the sun with a rose and a gun. Feel the wind in my hair, going nowhere I swear. Like an outlaw on the run, dangerous but it's so fun. Running, running, no. Hold on, don't let go. Running, running, no. Keep running.
LPL English broadcast from IG, taking care of business in game 1, but it wasn't all sunshine and rainbows. Yeah, it is sunshine and rainbows.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Skittles. But we'll go Bubble Trainer. No.
Skittles are pretty good, not bad.
Taste the rainbow.
Bubble Trainer is all sunshine. Well, alright, it's not all sunshine, because oftentimes
Just give me a few headaches.
oftentimes we're not perfect. We make mistakes. However, one thing about Bubble Trainer is that it is a new app. It teaches you League of Legends with a series of puzzles. If you boot up the program, you can see this nice chart of puzzles, and you can work through them every day to improve your game knowledge. We're going to do one right now. I just don't know which one we're going to do. Producer Kelsey, go ahead and just
Random. Okay.
Random.
Or a training path, whatever works.
We got a
We
lot
have
of
some
keys. You need
keys.
keys to unlock this.
Told my boss that I'm
Ah.
done. Had
We got a
no
lot
luck
of
with my
keys.
mom.
I don't know
Say,
which
what
one.
will you do with your
Just rip it.
life?
Why
You
not?
know it's hard to survive. A cigar in my
We have
mouth.
no opinion, Kelsey. Just fire
Maybe
away.
guilty but
Producers,
proud.
Tell me one. No, just pick one.
Now I'm an outlaw.
Path is not ready for
That
you.
pattern's not ready for use yet.
Dangerous,
All right, we
but
can't do
it's
that
so
one.
fun.
You know what? Let's just go vision placement. Wait. That's not
Hold
ready
on,
for
don't
use
let
yet.
go.
Okay.
Play.
Running,
We have to pick a role for early vision. We can actually do that. What role should we do?
Support.
Support it is. Let's
It's
go.
vision. Practice pattern. Let's go.
You know what? That makes a lot of sense.
We got 3 coming up.
Yeah, let's do it. All right. Who are we? We are Renata. We're in a Calista Renata lane right now.
We have a Malachi. We're going to be pushing out. And we're going to walk up. We have 1 ward. I think we ward the Tribe Rush before we help the Dragon.
Yeah. Let's
So
go.
we're
We
one.
did it.
Do we have time for another one?
All right, we're gonna rip
All
another
right.
one after this. We moved to the dragon. Oh my god, we secured the dragon. Heck yeah. We're actually
That.
down really bad at the beginning of this game. Their Lee Sin is going crazy.
I mean, that's Malachi, though. You just take advantage of the Q. How OP your Q is and take him off with it. It's fine.
All right,
Case
now we're Nautilus.
Good catch.
Finishing
This
over on the other side.
this is rough.
We're in a Nautilus.
Vel'Koz is low with no TP.
We can ward Pixel here. We should, because we have vision on both of them. We should be able
Well,
to ward Pixel.
I don't think a Pixel Ward's that useful because we're more concerned about getting dove. So I would ward here at the Tribe Rush.
Okay. All right, I can respect that. Yep, it's pretty good.
Yeah, like the
I
Pixel vision
have-
doesn't matter for us.
I was good back in Season 4. I am Emerald now. Cubby, you are a much better player than I.
Well, my
you know, you
Vel'Koz
did
can't
keep-
leave tower,
You
and
did
I'd be,
keep GM on Braum.
you know, I would love to ward that Pixel Brush, but my Vel'Koz needed to play better. I feel like that's it. So
Honestly, true. I had too high
yeah.
expectations for that Vel'Koz. No offense to that Vel'Koz.
And that's the true
big-
puzzle of solo queue, right? Is surviving teammates in the mental. If I was gonna make an app, it'd be a mental training app where anything that you type that isn't concerned about your own gameplay, you lose points. All right, that's it.
You know what? The mental training can be important. Sometimes you just gotta go. you enjoyed that, you can subscribe for 20% off and unlimited puzzles using our code LPL20. Proceeds will benefit the mobile trainer designers in the LPL English unofficial cast. You can start leveling up your game today. EDG got to level up their game a little bit, and you can already see in picks and bans, they are the ones banning out the Gwen. Very interesting.
All right, so I gotta say, I think one of the big evolutions that you guys at home are gonna see during these best of fives, in the best of threes, we would see the side swap really be what prompts changes in picks and bans. I think that as teams have really figured out how to play in Fearless in these series, you will see more changes in picks and bans to open up specific drafts for game 1, game 2, and they'll change them up as the series goes on. Because it really feels like in a 5-game series, like you don't just keep the same bans for the best of 3. You're actually going to switch things up. I think we're going to see this globally. Just look out for it at home. So for me, pick ban gets a lot more interesting in the best of 5s because I feel like that has been the big evolution of late. Just more and more teams are willing to play around with what they're taking away. And we see a very different draft here because of that.
Yeah, it is quite different. So we'll see. The first pick, Xing Zhao, is going to come through. So, all right, that was a champion that was not available the first time around. So it's been incredibly powerful. It is, I believe, Zhao Hao's most played so far this year. But on response, we're going to see not only Yorick, but Jax too.
I'm happy we don't usually see Jax jungle unless it is into Xin Zhao, but this is a very good matchup for Jax going into the Xin. Xin has the potential to make plays early, but Jax just monumentally outscales you. So definitely something to look out for. As are we going to see a Cho'Gath top? It's CDZ's most played now.
Yeah,
okay.
It's going to get locked in. And you were talking about earlier how, before the show, actually, I believe, Cho'Gath, popular pick into Sion now, but Sion not available. They just went for it here against the Yorick. What are we thinking? What's the angle here?
You get health and mana back when you kill the pets. That's kind of nice.
Those things are annoying.
They are. I still am going to favor Yorick, but the Rupture is really OP. As at the moment, I really favor IG's draft because the blind Ahri, I'm not about it. And Ryze into Ahri is a very, very good matchup for Ryze. You have the ability to set up ganks early on with the Jax and should be able to not be able to be one-shot by Ahri and then also be able to push it and make more plays on it in the side. I don't love this matchup, so I very much favor where IG's at in draft right now.
I'm with you there. The good news is EDG does have a strong mid-jungle duo, so that is something they can hang their hats on. They need to run over this early game, though, because IG's scaling is immense. Now, taking a look at some of the champions that are off the board that were taken out, you need something on the side of EDG that can help you win early, but also ensure that IG's comp can't do a thing in these team fights.
I mean, I don't even like the Braum ban from EDG, too, because if I'm IG, like, I'm looking for main engage right now. Braum is not main engage. So I think EDG needs a lot of damage for on, whatever they end up going with. And IG on the flip, they can just be supportive of this top side and should be okay. Are we going to see... I mean, Nautilus can make some sense here. I don't like Alistar in the Cho'Gath. He can just eat you. He goes down in value a lot. I think the fact that they didn't ban it is a little bit of a surprise to me, but Cho'Gath or Alistar also not too hot in the Jax Ryze with what's showing so far.
Yeah, we need something that can enable IG on top of it, too. I like this Kaisa ban because IG can certainly dive on you a little bit more, and of course, as you said, it's Gala.
Yeah.
The big question is, what's On going to play, honestly? I am
just play Ezreal right here, man.
Yeah.
I think you just play Ezreal and you go from here. I'm a little bit surprised about the Alistar. Like, again, you can't get feasted by Cho'Gath, and the silence hurts a lot. But it is like the premier power pick support. So we're probably just going to see Alistar and then some sort of Nautilus handshake. But EDG, like, where's the damage, man? I don't know what they can take that's like going to have enough damage this game. I really don't.
That does have a lot of damage. It's got a lot of lane damage, and there's not too many champions that would be able to disrupt the Misfortune and get back there unless they hard focus her. You saw the Draven hover. I think Draven would be pretty okay just for the raw damage, but instead they will go with the raw damage of the Misfortune.
That's not.
No rel available means that you won't have that combo.
Really curious if you actually see Galva play Ashe this game. Ashe has seen a few buffs.
I think you need to.
I think IG's played it a little bit. I don't love it in this like, it's not a love scenario for me. But your ability, like, I don't like it into the draft for EDG. I do like it with the draft that IG has, because the slows could really help enable your Jax rise. But yeah, I think it's just an Ezreal, and I very much favor where IG is at when it comes to draft right now.
It's a little hard. They don't really have a way to get in themselves, right? They're going to have to have really good realm warps, and JJ is going to have really nice flanking gauges with the Counter-Strike and get multiple stuns off. Gala is going to be safe into this composition, which is really paramount here because everybody else on IG a bit lower range, which means that there's not a whole lot of damage at EDG, but they will be taking damage.
They will. I think that Shogath can tank a lot, but you lose out on the side lane against Yorick because you're going up against Yorick. If MF is able to get off a big bullet time, that can be nice. There is some setup between Naut, Xin, Ahri, right? Shogath too. But the ability to cancel bullet time from Mako, from a well-placed wall, from the Shy, from JJ just going in there and connecting with the Counter-Strike. I feel like they really need to hit a big early game, and even with a Cho'Gath up top, like, they just get outscaled really hard. I really favor what JJ and Rookie can do in this mid-jungle 2v2 going up against what EDG has. So I know it's a Xin Zhao. You have to survive early game against that, but Ryze should be able to be tanky enough to do so. You can set up really well for Jax early on. I'm curious if they play into Ahri at all. And where Xiao Hao goes, because I feel like he needs to make things happen early on for the EDG to get this ball rolling, because the scaling does not favor them in this game.
No, not at all. But the good news is that means the early game, that's where they're going to have to butter their bread. You need to make plays on this IG team while they're weak, and we did see them make those plays in game 1. Now you have a champion for Angel that can move around a little bit better. The problem is you're into that Ryze matchup, which is very difficult, which can push you in at times. So he's going to need to be on the top of his game. We're also going to need to see Xiao Hao really do big stuff. It is this mid-jungle duo that has to run the game. So we're on Summoner's Rift for game 2 of this best of 5. All right, Cubby.
All right.
I think that this 3-man unit of Angel, Xiao Hao, and Wink can do a lot of damage early on. But it just can't be to the spot lane.
Ooh, I think that wherever Xiao Hao goes, they're going to be okay. Again, the Jax, you really need to scale into this matchup. Like, the break point is once you get, like, level 11 and your Trinity Force plus, then Xin Zhao can't really threaten you anymore. And that really is where this matchup comes in, because Counter-Strike, you don't give Xin knockups. You can go in and out of fights as Jax, whereas Xin Zhao can really only go in. So there are a lot of benefits for JJ there, but we're going to see a rare leash to help out Jax with his first buff, because Jax's clear speed is... It needs help overall. So it's actually double leash coming in. Interesting.
I think it's really a twofold in both matchups, right? Because Yorick is a bit more of a lane bully now because of how strong his ghouls are. And of course, we know the power of an early misfortune, so I think it just makes sense for both sides.
Yeah, it's kind of an FF of the early levels on each side in a way. You are correct.
But you know what? That's okay.
Yeah. It is. We'll say, curiously enough, we do have Gala not taking cleanse this game. Really isn't a lot that he can cleanse outside of the charm from Angel, or after that you have to like cleanse off the back half of like the
Nautilus auto attack.
Could be funky, yeah, for that. So it's gonna be barrier heal for the bot lane, which actually the bot lane overall, like, Nautilus wins hard against Alistar in most lanes, and MF of course gonna have some priority. But I gotta say, with that double combat summoner coming in, there might be a chance for like a little sneaky or cheesy kill here. But Gala, of course, did go for the Conqueror, which is very late-game favored when it comes to the Ezreal, less so lane phase. And, man, Twitch chat didn't like what they saw game 1, or they don't like this draft for IG, or we're just a big fan of the Shy playing the Undertaker in the top lane here.
Listen, poor ZDZ has got to go one-on-one with the Undertaker. As you said, that's always a tough assignment, whether you are in the wrestling world or the League of Legends world now because of how strong this champion is. Please get Yorick out of my games in solo queue. I do not know how to manage a split push. I am but an AD carry. See if EDG can manage the split push later on. They're managing well in the bot lane here. Those love taps doing some serious work.
My issue right now as an AD carry is I just see the Scion with 3,000 HP for like 20 seconds or 15 minutes just walk into a part of the map. It's like, what can I do against this?
Yeah, it's a little off.
That champion's also tuned a little bit too much right now. You can't see ZDZ though on the Cho'Gath with being able to sustain a little bit. Of course, that passive is really nice. As long as you get access to the wave, you're okay. As we are completing our first chunk of clears, and I will say the inactivity is quite nice for the Jax. Again, Jax really needs to scale up and into this matchup. And I will say that out of all the common threads or themes that we have for this series so far, Yanni, I think that JJ taking the scaling matchup and trying to build up that economy early on, that has been a common theme for our first 2 games.
Yeah, he wants to be the guy against his former team. It's always, you know, you're a big sports guy. Former
Revenge
players always wake up against their teams. Zaha going to try to make the first move here. ZDZ is caught in hell in a cellar right now. It forces the flash out of the Shy. So, again, first gank. Xiao Hao not able to make any hay on it, although they do get a summoner. You need kills.
Yeah, you'll take that. We are going to track Xiao Hao if you are IG all the way back to his Gromp. And JJ is actually going to be ahead of the curve. I will say that I think a big thing, you do see that On took the first reset bot. I think that this time spent for Xiao Hao, he's going to be late to a potential early dragon, which just given the junglers are mirrored in their clear. So you can see Jax passing on to the top side. And the strength of MF Nautilus, the fact that On base first, I think that early dragon is important for Xiao Hao. But he's going to be late to taking these Raptors, late to getting level 5, and late to the dragon, if that's going to be an option for them. So opportunity here for the Alistar and the Ezreal to actually answer back on the wave, which I think, so that time, like, top, yes, I get the flash, but I would rather be on time to this potential dragon. Because this, in theory, should have been a wave where you could look at it. And again, I'm looking at mid, and Rookie's doing a nice job in this matchup so far, keeping the Ahri down.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good point about the Shy not having his flash, is that you're really not going to focus him down that hard early. You need to really focus elsewhere. As Mako going to get in there. The headbutt, the pulverize coming shortly after, which means Ana's going to take a little bit of damage. Wink is coming through. So is Xiao Hao dropping the rest of that camp. Xiao Hao is just so far away right now. Gets spotted on the wave and just, again, not able to do anything. So
don't like how he showed. Yeah,
tough.
I'm with you. I don't like how he showed. I think that if he's hidden there, I mean, you can reasonably assume that he's on the bot side. But now that he showed, I mean, again,
not good.
Yeah, JJ just going to drop that ward, and with Gama Mako now being in the lane and that positive trade to start, there's no sustain on On. It doesn't have that Vamp Scepter yet, just going to be D-Boyd and Nicole, and this could be a really real dragon start for IG, which is given the drafts, I think is way out-kicking their coverage. Like,
oh, yeah.
You have MF, Nautilus bot lane with a Xin Zhao. That should be wins across the board, but because Rookie, he's winning mid, and because IG very much outplayed that trade with On and Wink, they had split recalls. So On was in the lane alone. Mako punished and opens up this Dragon Timer that for me really should be EDGs from draft for IG.
Yeah, and that's, you know, one thing that we haven't had much to talk about is how big of a driver some of these meta mid lane picks are for a team composition. Xiao will finally show up on the top side to try to punish the Flashless, the Shy. He's gonna end the 3 Talon Strike knockup along with ZDZ's knockup.
Beast.
ZDZ is level 7. He will eat him, will not actually finish him off, as Xiao Hao will clean the rest of the meat off the bow.
See a little smirk from the Shy. Maybe he's happy that it's not an extra feast stack that he has to deal with here. It is sadly Battlecast Cho'Gath, not Gentleman Cho'Gath. No one can complain too much, as it is a Glacial Shroud early on for ZDZ. And I'm curious if that's going towards an early Frozen Heart. Or it's just going to be a Glacial Shroud on its own, because now we're Bomby Cinders.
This is a build of all time. Let's take a look at the replay. Not really too much to talk about. Let's be honest, the Shy was up a little bit too far. Xiao Hao was not that dragon. Should have known, buddy.
Xiao Hao did a little bit of a cross-country run up here. This is fresh out of base. He does have a tumbler in his inventory, so Same timer that we saw last time, right? Where he based. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Plus 130. Let's go.
No, that's so tilting, brother.
See?
Poor ZDZ.
We caught that one live. We were happy about that.
A little small. As JJ hops over, is not able to steal that grub away, but he will be able to take away the last one as EDG are forced to back off, which is so crazy. Again, we talked about how they are stronger early than this IG composition, and just not really willing to fight here. JJ will be able to counter-strike. There's really no issue there. The team's a little too split off. Xiao to the bot side.
They should be stronger, but like look at this swap. You have MF not mid, and that's what enabled them to get on the grubs and get it first. But I think York going into the Ahri is a-okay. I don't think the Shy's complaining at all going into that.
It's all good.
I don't think there's any kill threat. And then Rise at least able to clean up lanes against the MF Nautilus. Again, I don't think there's any kill threat. And this is why I didn't like EDG's draft, because I just don't think they had enough tools to really get the ball moving. And then like the scaling's going to kick in. This Jax is ahead of the Xin Zhao. Like, JJ is off to the races this game. In a pick where, again, you really outscale your opponent. I was kind of
disturbed.
Yeah, I'm really happy to see this, because I felt like EU was the only one that was really playing this matchup, but I like this one a lot. As the punish coming down to the Shy. His flash is coming back up off cooldown.
He is going to get knocked up, CC'd to death here, as Xiao will get that one as well. He now has 2 kills, and the plates are going to go over to EDG. They have grubs as well.
Yeah, 2-1 in the grub count, so EDG going to punish the Shy and try and snowball this one forward. We no hope for the Shy there, as we just have a split map scenario, and read the wiki. You can eat all the things, get wrecked, York. Heyo!
That is true.
Does
the little dudes.
It's got to count towards your little stack though, or your stack counter, no? Or does eating the maiden not count towards your stack counter? Because that'd be something else. Oh, it counts. Okay.
That would be kind of crazy.
I have a Cho'Gath man in my ear. It's nice.
Yep. That would be so weird if it didn't.
I actually would like that that change.
Yeah,
you know?
I don't really want to talk about eating the maiden here. We have other things to talk about. 10 minutes into this game, Covey. We're getting a little weird here at this point in time.
Rookie's gonna force Angel out. I'm returning to this point. I feel like PETA should really, make an argument for Tibbers being able to like not count towards Cho'Gath stacks. That really feels like more animal rights. Holding more weight in the League of Legends lore. I feel like this is on brand for PETA as potential there.
All right, well, Mako is going to burn the heal to try to get after On. Flash for flash. So
That's
On will be able to get out, hit the blast plant, go back mid, take a recall,
It did look like I saw a heal there for Mako. I didn't catch the runes to start. Did look like he ran Nimbus Cloak as well.
You know what, he might have. He did look like he got some movement speed there, other than just the heal movement speed.
That's what I was thinking. So that's interesting. You can definitely do some creative things with Alistar with that. I really like Blue Tree on him for that reason, but just can't run it in the Nautilus matchup. You got to trade your Aftershocks to play this one out. So, speaking of playing this one out, I know that we haven't, it's a 1K gold lead for EDG. I still feel like we're behind the curve where we need to be if we are EDG. It is.
There we go.
He's fine. Don't worry about it.
There we go. ZDZ.
The Maiden's not, though.
The Maiden is not okay. What might be okay is EDG over on the spot side here, but who's not okay is EDG on this top side. They're going to teleport Rookie in here, and they will give the Dragon for a potential kill over onto ZDZ. They're sending 4 to the top lane. He's on an island. He'll knock up the Alistar. He flashes away, but he's going to get hit by damn near all the CC. JJ even tanks it up, and it doesn't matter.
I like this play for IG. I know that they're giving up the Dragon. It might be first brick that does go over to EDG, but I don't think that IG at the moment wants to fight. You have Rookie that's going to go Roa plus Catalyst, or Roa plus Catalyst, Roa plus Seraphs, right? As the raise.
Okay. Oh no, they didn't send anybody to help. Blue buff and
that's tragic. And
Gromp is more important than first turret.
That's tragic. Well, that's going to suck for Feats later on, as Xiao does pick up some camps away from JJ, but it's still, I see a Trinity Force on the Jax, Yanni, and we did kind of set EDG's comp on a timer.
Yeah. You said level 11 close. Trinity Force for JJ?
Yeah,
it's over.
They're not close to hitting the timer they really need to. I mean, it's triple Trinity Force coming in for IG, so we really have the summoning circle of all summoning circles here.
Yeah, we are summoning all the scaling here. And
I mean, I can only imagine where Freak has the image of this scoreboard in his basement now. 3 Trinity Forces, man. He's freaking out. He's freaking out.
Do you remember that video? It was like tons of damage in the song in the background.
Yeah. It's old YouTube
all right,
at this point.
I'm gonna self-report. I did alter the files in my League of Legends to make that my my login thing. The
nice.
login screen. I did do that. Hopefully, this would not be a problem.
You are honoring Father Freak.
I am.
Yeah.
You know, and he deserves to be honored. You know, I
really does. I mean, he literally is father now. Not just because of the Champ Select videos, but also because his role in game design now.
Yeah.
Which I'm bummed to hear that it may not be like all the live stuff. I know it's changing a little bit. Always really appreciate Freak and how open and honest he is with where the game's at. I think that a lot of the community takes that for granted. Not a lot of devs are like that. As the action continues, Mako.
Yeah, he's going to get engaged on. They're going to throw everything they got at him, and they really need to. Feats of Warfare are secured for EDG, and with Herald in 40 seconds, they can also secure the objective feats. Again,
I was a little bit surprised to see Awa start this game, just given the amount of true damage that you have between the Cho'Gath and the Ahri. I know Mako's only like level 7 and everyone was on him there, but you could really see him melt, I think, a little bit faster than usual when you do pop that ult, as he was caught.
We did finish our Frozen Heart, by the way.
What's up?
We did finish our Frozen Heart up top.
Yeah, we did. It was a workshop build. It's just bombies along the way to help with the wave clear. I will say that a lot of champs are just building a bomb. It's not a yard sale.
It was
it's strategic. It's strategic. A lot of champions are going bombies just into York just to help deal with the pets.
Yeah, and that makes sense, especially with the way that you can heal when they go down.
Yeah.
Get to take a little bit less damage from them. Mako really, really looking for this, but a nice job there by Wink, and they might turn it around. Mako's going to be the one who's knocked up when it becomes Lightning lands. But Xiaohao is not going to take it. Teleport coming in from ZDZ. ZDG look to shove IG off. Angel is on the way down, does have his ultimate available. Remember, he's got that Malignance. No longer that our tanky Ahri build is what a hook landed. Gala gets CC, but the knockups are there. Angel's gonna slide out. Ezreal coming through doing good damage as JJ lands the stun and flashes out of there, but EDG have control of this river. Their health bars are blinking. Angel does have teleport available.
Flashes are 2 for 2 across the board. Of course, Rift up, that's where our teams are posturing. And again, I think that this is a scarier time of the game for IG to fight, but they seem to be handling it okay. I'm surprised that IG's 5-stacked here. I don't think this is the right time for their comp to go as Wink goes in.
Mako, no ultimate. He gets knocked up there too, and down goes the Rift Trail. Mako with the knock-up. How forced to use his ultimate to try to mitigate some of this damage. He goes back in, the knockups are there, and they blow up the Shy, and now the next target's going to be Rookie. He's forced to flash away, so they lose out on the objective, but EDG get the kill.
Okay, I mean, EDG might get mid-outer from this. I feel like that's a small win. We can see fast resets coming in for the Dragon, as we're going to try and catch these waves. Top lane going to be pushed in by IG. That has to be responded to by EDG. I'm a little bit surprised at how aggressive IG is playing. I still think that just given the game state where we're at, being down 2k golds, I'd say a tad bit scary for IG, but also that fight was a lot closer than where I think the fight should be, just given where we're at in the game. Again, we don't have that evolved Seraphs yet for Rookie. There's no Miramana on Gawa. I think once those come in, you get a second item on Jax. You are so much stronger if you are IG, whereas I really feel like the strength of EDG's comp is now. So going even's not enough. I think this Dragon very important for them, and a likely sack for IG.
We'll see how much importance they really put on the feats here. Again, I'm with you. I think it's okay to just chill out. Let your champions hit their 2 item spikes. You do not want the game to get too out of reach. This is something that we talked about early on. As long as EDG aren't so far ahead, it's going to be okay. Again, Xiaohao and Angel not able to make a ton of plays. Xiaohao made a couple, but they did have 2 ganks where nothing was really done. So that burnt a lot of his time and meant that EDG wasn't able to get much of an advantage. We can see the Rift Herald go down, Mako with a nice little sidestep there, but he is taking quite a bit of damage. The rest of EDG is in tow. They will not be able to chase down the cap.
I don't like how EDG is kind of allowing IG to drag themselves around in terms of waves. Like, for me, again, this dragon should be gone. Like, on this wave, it should have been, like, this seesaw, we're kind of at the back half, like, where it was before we had resets come in. I feel like EDG could have done this earlier. And that matters. I mean, like, time matters this game.
All right, JJ's going to go over the wall and immediately get knocked up. Xiaohao is going to go on top of him. Counter-Strike's going to be there. He's only going to stun the one. The bullet time means that JJ's got to hop out, and the blue buff is secured for Xiaohao.
I think that's a waste of time. Like, why look for that? Why not just do the dragon and kind of return to the waves?
You don't have enough damage to actually kill JJ.
Yeah, I don't think... I think that playing the objective there is going to be better. They don't get anything significant out of JJ. Nothing of significance burned, but that time does matter for the Shy. He takes a tower shot. Angel goes in.
Get him, Angel!
Well played.
Get him, Angel! Angel!
The Shy!
With a solo bolo! Even with the maiden. Hey, that's why I said your team is going to lose a lot of top sides on your $15 team, buddy. The coin flipper extraordinaire loses the 1v1.
Oh, the Shy moment. Oh, that flash was gross. Oh, that one hurt. All right. I don't think that was necessary for the Shy. It's okay, because IG are still going to try and scale their way up, but Xiao is really chasing this one. Run warp might be required. Oh,
he silenced him! The flash silence! What a play from ZDZ! If he can land a big knock up here, it'll be huge. He doesn't, but JJ on the backside will go down. ZDZ gonna get credit for that one. Now Angel gonna cut off Rookie. This is a sharp play by EDG, and specifically ZDZ coming up huge again.
I mean, that was nice from ZDZ, but everything was off the back of Angel. You asked to see if he could turn the clocks back to 2020 Suning. Angel seems to be doing just that, as back-to-back plays made by and through him. Takes down the Shy. I mean, straight outplays him on the Ahri. Had some really nice Rs in there. Did kind of bend it like Beckham with the Q being out. And then the TP to make sure that things go their way. In the bot side, we asked for more from EDG. Said that they're confident to make more plays now. Time is not their friend. And exactly what they needed or wanted as Rookie. He was trying to avoid a potential rupture. You can't avoid that silence with the flash being burned by ZDZ. Great presence of mind and play from him, as it really locks the deaths of both Rookie and JJ in the bot side. And now EDG has a 4K gold lead. That is significant.
Yeah, the only problem with EDG is that it's kind of like game one. What was there for them to take? They did not get a turret. Otacon is on the top side of the map. They were on the bottom side, so they couldn't even go and do that. So, yes, you win the fight, you get the gold, but you don't get anything more. Angel's going to get knocked up here and locked down. Here comes JJ getting in there as Angel is just desperately trying to get up, but they might have turned this one around. We're going to go all the way in on to JJ, sliding over. That charm, flash, lands, take him down. And now they're going to look for Mako next. Ezreal coming through, doing some good damage, but Mako will flash away, and they turn it around on IG.
IG, I mean, they got to be a little bit more respectful. I feel like Mako didn't chain the CC. I didn't see the full play because he kind of hopped into that one. I didn't catch how he used all of his spells, but I feel like they didn't fully chain things up against Angel. There goes record. He hasn't lost a game to EDG, neither has JJ. Nice.
I love the neither has JJ. Little shout there. He's officially 1-0 against EDG in individual games, at least, not in series. So we'll see if they can keep their undefeated record. As Otacon is being done.
Smite. You got to get through a Cho'Gath too.
It's going to be hard.
I think IG is able
missed them earlier.
Oh, they smited early.
Secure that one.
Yeah, they smited early. Rookie could chase, but that make it rain. It's a hell of a slow field.
Clean. Clean from EDG.
It is. I think that IG might want to chase this one a little bit, though. Kind of keep him on the map. Because if they are able to keep him on the map, this could impact the dragon setup. This next dragon, this is a little bit of concern for IG, frankly.
Okay.
No, they're going to get Wink.
Wink might be dead. Wink might be dead.
Yeah, he's dead.
He kind of messed around on the wave. He's forced to flash away.
He's going to flash. Okay.
Yeah, this is problematic. Wink not his best showing there, as the turret will go down as well. So the IG getting funneled quite a bit of gold there.
This is where I'd once again, I'm going to give a credit over to APA. My favorite phrase is flashing air. As I fear Wink flashed air there.
Yeah.
Thank you to APA for that one. Yeah, that's.
And now you don't have the flash hook available, especially very difficult to.
Yeah, he was dead.
Maybe surprise some players. You know, Gala's going to be hard to take down, but you can kind of surprise them a little bit. Maybe, you know, edge cases where if JJ is going to maybe get a sick flank off, you need a flash to be in range to be able to interrupt him. You know, you lose out on that.
I'll also lose out on some time to set up for the Dragon. See Wink getting back out of the map along with both of our teams. Again, I think this Dragon's significant. 3K gold lead for EDG. And if you stack up Mountain Dragons on Shogath, that can get scary. Especially with York being really behind the curve.
We're going to hit our egg timers, though, Cubby. We just hit 10 stacks for Rookie. He's got the Seraphs.
Yeah,
Meanwhile, Gala,
too.
He's got the Muramana. Yep. Shout there. We'll see what these guys on IG are able to do if they can chew through, especially this Shogath. One thing to note is On is below half HP right now. They are doing this Dragon on Vision. The Ezreal chunks him too.
Rookie. I think Rookie did that. And they're on sitting this. Rookie's just going to approach him.
Yeah, so is JJ. And Rookie's going to flash on him. The cleanse is used, but now they're going to peel back and look for Rookie. Angel trying to get more done. Knockup is going to be there. On's going to try to find a way to reposition.
On can't do it.
Is out. The objective is being done. Xiao Hao not taking any damage along with ZDZ. The hook lands onto Gala, but Wink is going down. One more auto should take him out. He will be able to walk away. Meanwhile, Rookie still on the backside. He's got the Realm Warp too to be able to maybe do something cheeky as Wink just walks in and dies. Bullet time down on the Rookie is not going to get him. And On is trapped in Hell in the Cell, and he's thrown off the top of it 30 feet, and down goes EDG. The Dragon will be IG's.
I really want to see how On got chunked out. I assume it was Rookie. But that fight literally just didn't go EDG's way because they didn't have an AD carry. On did nothing in that fight. He didn't have the health, wasn't able to heal off the Dragon. I don't know why they were hitting the Dragon with On so low. You have a Bloodthirster, give him some waves. As... Brother!
Oh, On!
Brother
On!
Oh, no! Oh, On, that's tragic. Like, this Dragon's important. You don't have the time to afford to make mistakes like this. The second Dragon going over to IG. And On just can't play the fight. The rest of the fight didn't really matter how it could go. I mean, Rookie forces him out. I think that's the right move. I know it looks weird that Rookie's here. Look at all the time that he buys. Why isn't the bullet time being thrown out now? I don't know why On just didn't press R. Because Rookie was going to eat the depth charge, get charmed up. The fact that we aren't pressing R, just take that damage, kill Rookie. Because Rookie ruins the back half of the fight. You have to deal with him. And in the front line, we can't go deep enough because we don't have a marksman. No one's in range to do damage. As IG just kind of hold that line, hold that choke. Yes, the bullet time comes out on the Rookie, but it's too late. He's not even chained up with all the CC that was available to them. And they just lose out on the fight because they didn't have a marksman.
Yeah, it just allowed IG to get closer. And then finally, when you drop that ultimate, you can't move. York's going to put you in that cage every time. That is a really tough fight for EDG there because they lose so much off of it. Now this gold lead is less than 2,000 for them. We see Rookie on the top side. Saw that EDG were maybe hunting around for a dive, but not going to be able to take that. See a lot of pings on this Baron over on the top side. We're just looking to secure some vision. On once again pushed off a mid-wave. Not going to get stunned, but he'll just get run down anyway. Teleports coming in on the back half here as ZDZ immediately flashes out as Mako is looking to cause a ruckus. He gets knocked up. The Shy is here, but again, double knockups coming through. But the problem is you've lost all your damage, Cubby.
Red buff available for IG. They were able to chase down On, who... No summoner spells in that last fight. Was out of position. Great call by IG in this game. Escaping EDG quickly. Wink's dead.
He's dead. Wink is gone. And it just felt like after that Wink flash on the top side, that's when the game tilted toward IG. This Baron is theirs.
Yes, On getting chunked out by Rookie was pretty awful.
Well, I mean, it was the start was Wink getting picked.
Yeah,
and then On is, that was tough. All right, Baron's is going to go down. Angel, Xiao Hao, ZDZ are here, but ZDZ, as big as you are, the harder you fall. Realm Warp coming through. Everybody's showing up to the party. And down goes Jin Zhao. Ezreal coming through, chunking out On. The flash, the Q, the ghouls. Triple kill for Gala.
It has been a great game for Gala. As he has been doing his best on the Ezreal, but now that he's fed, you can really feel the damage. And what a bummer for Angel, who I think played really well in this mid-game, Yanni. And it feels like things just got away from EDG. This was really the theme of the team coming in today. From the games from Group Nirvana even before, this is a team that can get leads but can't snowball them through. Just disconnected across the board is, again, trying to contest the Baron down numbers. I do think that they run out of time in this game, so I can't blame them for even trying to approach, but it's far too late. On eats a Mystic shot from Gala. This is just beautifully played by Gala. The preemptive flash, by the way, how nasty is that? Another Q helps get that shift cooldown back sooner, able to clean it up. Gala's Ezreal has been really on point this game, as IG was a little bit shaky in the mid game. We had a classic the Shy moment, a classic the Shy start, but hey, he was the global taunt needed to get the team going, apparently.
Yeah, that's what happens sometimes. The Shy just ends up being a global taunt, and if you fall into the trap of constantly going after him, you're going to allow everybody else on the rest of the team to scale, and that's exactly what happened here, Cubby. Now a 3,000 gold lead for IG, 28 minutes into this game, all baroned up. We did say once they hit their 2 and 3 item breakpoints, specifically their 2, IG was going to run away with this game, and they have done so. It is all them. They will need an epic collapse for EDG to try and find their way even back in.
I still just, I cannot believe the absolute murder that Rookie and IG got away with at that Dragon fight. I'm still just flabbergasted. The fact that On is like 20 HP, or 20% HP, and then they start the Dragon, and then Rookie just like flashes at him, forces him out, and they don't punish him. Like, there was no bullet time casted by On. I cannot fathom that. Where he blew the W. There was no W up. He was no flash. There's a depth charge on him. A charm, too. We don't just go on Rookie. The game just kind of collapsed from there. And again, EDG now out of time. They get outscaled in this game. Rookie is fully online as the Rise. Azanya's intact, too, to help with the playmaking. Even a Seeker's coming in for JJ, as he can go gold and make plays on the Jax. That's always a feel good, too, as I really like the fact that he's willing to bust out the Jax again. I like this matchup a lot. As you get to a certain point where Xin can't do crap, and we were kind of at that point.
Not much for him to do, as this journeyman squad of EDG have been fighting hard against the superstars of IG through the first 2 games, but are not able to turn their mid games over and get into the driver's seat and get into strong winning positions. It just feels like it's time for IG to just choke out EDG for the rest of this game. They are on Mountain Soul Point. I can't imagine we're going to need to go to another Dragon, but you never know, Cubby.
The theme of IG games, you never know.
Yeah, listen, man, this is a team that in Split 2 played, I think, the most games, if not close to it. They played 47 individual games.
26 hours of game time, guys. That's not even including the 1v1s.
No, that is not including the 1v1s. That is a ridiculous number, by the way.
I don't know how we found that one. Shout out to our stats team and support behind the scenes.
Yeah, they played the most. They played one more than Top Esports, who, as we all know, had a penchant for losing some individual games.
You know, you win game 1, you scrim on stage, right? Hey, guys, we're going to try this. That's the classic if you're a good team.
Yeah, and you know what? Maybe IG just needed all those games to gel together, right? And finally get everybody on the same page. You know, you got 2 groups of guys, right? The Shy and Rookie, who have played such a long time together. JJ and Mako as well, and then you throw Gala into the mix. You gotta really mix it up, right? It's like when you're baking and things are a little lumpy at times. You just gotta keep stirring, and that's exactly what IG have been doing so far, as they are stirring EDG into a tizzy in this game. We're seeing the Shy teleport on the bottom side as they look to continue sieging.
I'm going to continue with the theme, too, for IG. As they clean things up, I think Mako has been the one that has looked a lot better. I do want to give Mako some credit, too. This is not an easy Alistar game, playing in the Cho'Gath.
Oh, big double knockup there. The question is, will you get anything off of it? ZBZ is trapped in the cage.
They got the red.
It will take a lot of damage.
Yeah.
I mean, the Gala does so much. That's an 80 carry stream. Rifle away on the Cho'Gath. I've seen too many TikToks where Cho'Gath is able to run down the 80 carry. Not in this game.
I've seen too many TikToks of LPL Ezreals, man, just going off or doing something different.
You can never have too many TikToks of LPL Ezreal.
Yeah, Gala trying to be one of them. I love, as a quick aside, you know, I love Ezreal as a champion. I feel like this is one of the champions like actually makes League. Just like how awesome this champion is. Like the skill required to play this champion at the highest level is. It like we've had this game around for 15 years, and it still feels like the skill cap of this champ is like truly not exactly figured out yet.
I couldn't agree more. And when you play him and you have a good game, like obviously
you feel like a superhero.
Oh, you feel like so good. And everybody is just like, oh my god, you're this player, you're that player, you're crazy.
You're prey.
Yeah, and you know that's what League of Legends is all about, man. This is why people continue to play this game. This game is the greatest game in the world. EDG looking to have the greatest fight, the greatest comeback in the world. They miss out on a couple skill shots. The engage goes down onto ZDZ. Teleport coming in as well. ZDG are in full retreat. The hook goes on onto JJ. They put him in the bounce house. They take him down. It's a quick pick. Another knockup coming in for Mako. The ZDZ gets lower and lower. He's going to get rooted up. Hook goes in. Ezreal coming through, doing good damage. Here's the bullet time, but he can't do a whole lot. Realm Warp coming through. Rookie goes golden. Mako and the Shire a little low. On is full HP, but he immediately gets chunked to almost nothing as Gala is just the better AD carry in this game.
Oh, Angel
flashing over, but he can't land the charm.
Yeah.
It felt like a last gasp for EDG, a chance to maybe put them back into a different life in this game.
Well, I feel like we've just been relegated to walking mid as 5 from that fight, and if we're going to be that and forever fight, I feel like that benefits the Ezreal, as we have seen Gala. I know that we saw JJ get feasted and went down early. It's technically a trade-up for EDG, but as that fight played out, it just feels like in the forever fight, Ezreal continuously being able to at least chip and chunk out ZDZ might be a pattern of play that we see continue. And I know that Angel burned Flash and it was empty, but I think the idea from Angel, again, you got to play for Gala. And keep in mind, Gala doesn't have a cleanse. So if Angel is able to find Gala, that could be really a game turner, a game changer, and something that EDG has to look for, because if he's not dealt with, we're seeing what Gala's doing in these fights, and it feels unmanageable for EDG.
Yeah, it was a good look for Angel. Unfortunately, just couldn't get it done. 2020 Angel has left the server. He was here for a glimmer of a moment. It's 2025 now. You got to find a way. Mako is going to use that Alistar ultimate as EDG kites back toward this dragon. You don't want to give that one away because a Mountain Soul might just be insurmountable. I will fade up toward the Baron.
Do like what EDG did there. Again, I think it's a really difficult game to play Alistar. You're dealing with a lot of true damage between Sho'Gath and Ahri, and you are seeing that even with him popping the ultimate, still the Sho'Gath into Alistar. Sho'Gath is a great champion into Alistar. The silences, the ruptures, and the true damage, you can really mess around with this champion, and ZDZ is doing a nice job of that. So that Pulverize being gone, the Flash being gone, looks like it's enough for EDG to maybe start the Dragon, but Baron's being pulled. It's going to pull EDG off it.
Yep, nice Realm Warp there. It is on Vision. Angel is going to walk up here, but guess what? It's gone. It's secured by JJ.
JJ out.
It's all right. He got himself. If his teammates don't got him, he got him.
All right.
That means that EDG are going to be a little slow to this Dragon. I do wonder what the move is going to be here for IG if they want to fight him at the Dragon. Mid-turn is going to go down. Mako, Gala,
they don't
JJ.
have to fight the Dragon. They're gonna give the Dragon. The fact that EDG hasn't like had anyone solo out this Dragon is kind of shocking. As you called it Realm Warp. See the replay. The Shy even sent the Maiden to help out.
Rookies are splitting.
Yep, they don't care about the Dragon. He's going to split. That's going to be an inhibitor down. EDG really got stuck in terms of what to do, and they just defaulted to, we're going to walk 5 as mid and see what happens.
Yeah, and that is not a good plan when it seems like you have no direction. This inhibitor will fall. Listen, it's just another case of EDG, quote-unquote, winning a fight, right? They go, they get that initial pick. Obviously, they get chunked really low. They can't do anything else on the map. There's no turrets for them to take. They couldn't get an objective. And then they poke out IG a little bit. They take purchase in the mid lane. And what happens? They get a turn out of it at 35 minutes into the game with both objectives up. You need more. You need more.
I think it's a really appropriate theme, Yanni. Just the fact that, again, every EDG, it's even in kills, but... the only point we felt like they really had control was that double play from Angel. And it was instantly turned around by On being chunked out before a Dragon, and EDG deciding that was still the time to hit it. So.
And it's so tough, man, just because of the scaling of IG against a team that doesn't scale nearly as well. EDG, you're still in it. It's a mistake that you could overcome, but against the scaling team, you cannot make many mistakes. Link is going to Hex Flash over. He's not really going to get an angle on anybody. The Maiden is going to run body blocking duty. His Rookie is going to push in the bot lane here. Look, and they finally taken the Shy off the split pushing duty, right? They're like, hey, we'll give it to Rookie because we know Rookie probably won't die off.
I mean, Rise cannot be dealt with at this point of the game. Depth cap now for Rookie. So these overloads are going to be hitting pretty hard. And you can just see the base slowly breaking for EDG as time runs out. That was a very aggressive arcane shift by Gawa, but he had the spacing right. Was able to get out from the rupture.
Look at how much damage Xiaohao does. The answer is literally 0, but they put the Shy in the bounce house, and he dies on the split push again. Knockup is there on to ZDZs. He's trying to tank up everything he can. On's got to cleanse and try to run out. JJ has Golden in the middle of the team. He's counter-striking though, lands it onto 2 key members. Angel forced out, and JJ leaps on him and takes him down. Nice flash on the sidestep, but On doing what he can to try to keep this game close. But Wink can't survive. The inhibitor in the bottom lane will fall, and EDG, their base is crumbling around them. It's a 3v2. On and Xiaohao need to find a miracle.
Scaling is kicked in for IG, and again, EDG just feels like they're out of answers. Any fight that they can take. Doesn't matter how close it is or what kind of win they can find. It's not a true win on the map, Yanni. As EDG continues, I mean, this is the closest scoreboard I've seen with the series, like, truly not feeling close. I gotta say.
Not at all.
And, oh
this
boy,
game has not been close.
Cookie.
Little flash there. On, knocked up, dead, as Mako is snappy on the engage. Yeah, Xiaohao finds him, but IG find the rest. Teleport coming through. Nexus turrets are down. It is a 2-0 IG lead.
Oh, Rookie's playing like Cookie, or sweet, sweet love here in the LPL. It's been a good day for Rookie in these first couple of games. He flashes forward, manages to wrap that one up in kind, and another outstanding performance from him. As, again, I felt like the groupings for EDG, like, they set the York behind, then delayed that threat of the side lane a little bit. Angel had some nice plays in the mid-game, but God, that Dragon fight was atrocious, man. I don't know how else to say it. There really is no ifs, ands, or buts around it. This is a comp where you need to play the game fast, and that really, I think, is the fans' beef with MF as a champion. Because so many times you see MF get picked where it's like, okay, we can do all these things in the early game and be strong, but if we can't snowball it, it's just not good enough. And on approaching a fight, when you're 20% HP and taking that, when you have BT and the team not respecting that or finding a way to get on HP back again, you know, just hitting the turret and taking that chunk from Rookie. Like, I'm actually so tilted because that was a winnable game for EDG, and that play just, like, completely demolished any hopes of, like, for EDG to win. I mean, it flipped the 4K gold lead into a Baron and a lead for IG that afterwards was like 2, 3, 4K gold, and then the scaling was online, and there was just no hope after that.
Yeah, again, we talked about how you cannot make a mistake against a scaling team like that. The mistake was made, and now that's why you're down 2-0 in this series, right? There were chances for EDG. I have to say, they've looked pretty okay. They are playing with some direction.
Angel made some good plays.
Yes,
yeah.
Angel, it's just, oh man, I wonder how different the game is if he lands that Charmangala. Is it realistically different? I don't know.
No, it was too late at this point.
You know, but it's a hope and a prayer, maybe.
Yeah. I still don't think that they did enough early. Like, their first really big play was 20 minutes in, where, again, like,
that's the problem.
Like, up 2 Drakes to 1, 4K gold lead, that sounds good, but they didn't get the ball rolling fast enough. I don't like how in that matchup, Xiaohao kind of signed up to being even with the Jax. I think that's been another big thing in this best of 5. JJ's taken 2 scaling champions, has been disciplined in terms of just farming up, letting his lanes do their thing, and even with the York going down, you saw how big the Jax was in these later fights. I mean, Jax scales really hard as a champion, and to have that in the jungle role, and facing Xin later on, there's no comparison in terms of who's stronger in those fights later on.
Yeah, and you know what? It just kind of feels like a microcosm of the series as a whole, right? You've got IG, who been a little wishy-washy, but started scaling in the second half, right? 5-game win streak until they dropped a BLG in the second to last day of the season, versus an EDG team that, you know, again, at the beginning of Split 2, looked like, hey, they can, 15 to 18 minutes against good teams, actually looking okay. You just got to translate that into the mid-game, and it's something that they, as a team, have not been able to do, regardless of the individual games. And remember, this is the result that we kind of expect here. It is the technically the number 1 Group Ascend team, at least in these play-ins, versus the bottom Nirvana team, right? This is something that we have to say, EDG at least fighting, but down 2-0, backs against the wall. Don't know if there's much more they can do.
This was for sure the most one-sided matchup coming in. Not because of where EDG was at even, just because IG, compared to the rest of the teams that ended up in this playing stage, I think that there's a pretty confident power gap between them and the rest, like we can say, by the end of the split, Yanni. So for me, that's why it's a little bit of a difference maker in this one. But, oh, they're going to show me the disgusting fight again.
Oh,
okay,
no.
if we
Close
watch
your
this, just, look at Rookie. When he flashes in, he's going to burn W because on slowed.
Yeah.
All in Rookie after this. Like, how we have a depth charge? How do we not all in Rookie and cast bullet time?
Right here, bullet time needs to be casted.
I have no words. Like, how do we get split? Why does Xiaohu not go in and fully commit on the Rookie? If you fully commit on the Rookie, you actually get on back in the fight and you can play this one out. At EDG, they got stuck here. They got stuck 5-manning in mid lane. It really felt like they just had no solution of how to play this game out after the first 15 minutes. And yeah, the fact the bullet time is here, it's fine, but it's negligible. If you cast it when you chain it with all the CC, I think it's actually potentially a winning fight for EDG, but they were split on the call.
Yeah, you already lost like most of Wink's HP there too.
Yeah.
Just because you're extending that fight, your misfortune's not there, which means you're down an 80 carry, right? It's okay to trade your mid laner for their 80 carry to make sure no damage can be dealt. And again, you are so right. If EDG were snappy, making that quick decision, hey, let's just turn on to Rookie, maybe this is a different game. Maybe this is a different fight. On obviously just needs to not get chunked. Like, Rookie did so much
that was
in this
pathetic.
game too.
Rookie actually just got away with like highway murder. I cannot like he made a really illegal play and they just did not care because Xiaohao decided to go in on the other side of the fight. And I honestly, there's not really worth talking about all too much more after that. I think some of these fights were kind of close, but again, we're seeing solo kills go over to like Cho'Gath feasts or like Meiko going down. I like this engage from Xiaohao. Like, they sent a lot into the Shy, but then look at the value that the Rise, the Jax get, even like just being down numbers. And again, EDG's comp, they ran out of time. Like, once that play goes sideways, I really don't think that there is a whole lot more that's like really worth talking about, because you're just brutally outscaled, and we saw that come to fruition here.
One thing that's worth talking about, Cubby, our MVP.
Gala.
I think Gala did a lot of good things in this fight, in this game, I should say. Had a pretty scoreline too.
It's not just a boom boom damage vote. You know, he was actually like really impactful in these fights.
Yeah, I mean, when you're able to chunk out a Cho'Gath like that, you know, it's really ridiculous. And again, the 80 carries dream that, yeah, your Cho'Gath doesn't mean a damn thing to me. I will just continue to chunk and deal damage. So we're both in agreement that it should be Gala.
I got to mold live a little bit. You know,
is there a shout for Meiko in this game because of how hard it is to play? He had a couple of nice knockups.
Meiko played fine.
We did say it was difficult to play this game. I
think I will give him a hall pass at getting caught out a couple times. Again, playing Alistar on the Cho'Gath is brutal. Like, Cho'Gath is one of the best champions that exist in the league playing into an Alistar, right? Like, his kit's just built to counter what Alistar does. But yeah, no, he did no MVP for him. I want to see Gala on my screen before we go to break, Yanni. And yeah, I'm curious, you know, what your thoughts are before I give mine. What do you want to see from EDG? Because do they play scaling to match it? Like, is that the solution that you have? It's kind of harder in Fearless because it's not like, okay, we need to get rid of the Varus, right? Like with old draft formats, it's like you cannot play against Varus. Just change up the draft strategy, like get rid of that. No, you have to come up with something completely different. It feels like scaling has been the name of the game for JJ with the first two. Do you switch that up for Xiaohao maybe?
Well, let's see our MVP first.
Gala.
Before I give my thoughts, it's Rookie. Okay.
Run warp to Baron. Run warp to Baron. All right.
Run warp to Baron. Run warp to Baron.
He got away with the most illegal play around that dragon. I cannot emphasize what he got away with enough. All right.
It is kind of ridiculous. I'm not gonna lie. It was pretty ridiculous that he was.
R.I.P. Gala.
Again,
yeah.
he gets his player of the game just by simply exuding so much aura. and
just
really, honestly,
that hitting play, a turret.
That play,
hit a turret. Oh
again,
my god.
Maybe Rookie hasn't been like start to finish playing like, wow, he really deserves the MVP. But he's just had plays in these games.
He's been good. He has been really good. He has been really good today. I just love how the start of like his MVP highlight reel for that game is on hitting a turret. He had zero business hitting and just ruining the game for EDG.
That is pretty damn funny. And the phone may be ringing here, Cubby, as Nirvana calls once again to EDG. Let's see if they're going to answer the call of the sweet siren or if they're going to hang up and say, hey, we got at least one more game in us. We're going to kick it to a break. When we return, Game 3 draft, EDG backs against the wall. IG looking to make that sweet, sweet top 8 into the bracket stage. We'll see you on the other side.
Take a moment right here, feeling like it's out gear. Driving towards the sun with a rose and a gun. Feel the wind in my hair, going nowhere I swear. Like an outlaw on the run, dangerous but it's so fun. Running, running, no, hold on, don't let go. Running, running, no, keep running.
Welcome back, everybody, to the LPL English unofficial broadcast. IG with a 2-0 series lead over EDG. They had the scaling, they got to their item break points, and they took care of business. And, Cubby, we famously disagreed with who the MVP should have been. Oh, you know, some people are saying
You're giving us a lot of credit here, Yanni.
Listen. You know what? I will give us the credit. We deserve it. We have the real MVP for the people. It's gone.
Take that, KEKW Media vote. I felt like I don't know how Rookie got MVP. I'm
again the aura he simply exuded was too much. I mean, maybe
in the past.
Thought, go ahead,
you go, Yanni. No, you go.
Oh, okay. Maybe they thought, hey, if EDG win this fight at the Dragon, then like EDG can like still win the game even though they're gonna get outscaled. Maybe that's the line of thinking. I don't see it.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Anyway, shout out to Gal. I think Gal has actually been like high key playing really well the last couple of years. I know that he was winning more maybe earlier on in his career, but I feel like he's almost playing better now. So I've really appreciated some of his play of late. I think he's been a big part of IG, hopefully securing their spot now in playoffs and of course Group Ascension for next split. And I gotta see, I'm gonna click around here. We're gonna cheat, see if we have split 3 rules for LPL up. As the group, they don't have a rule list for what the difference between Nirvana and Ascension is. Because I think the biggest part of this split, just the amount of games that were played between the two. Kelsey, I don't know if we have time to maybe fly that graphic again. We have more people watching now. I just think that this is ridiculous. Like the difference between Group Nirvana and Group Ascension. Because, again, it's 26 hours in-game versus 7. I look at the series played, the games played. Yeah, I just think that
530 kills.
This advantage that you have, between just the raw amount of games played, not to mention the quality of games that you're playing on stage being in Group Ascension too. I really feel like this is the biggest advantage and the hardest thing that EDG has to overcome today, let alone just IG as a squad themselves. And we have really seen this pay off for some teams. Again, I think that the Group Ascension was a huge part of the reason that WE and FPX both leveled up. And I really think it's helped IG start to figure things out in the back half of the split as the matches get bigger. They start to take things more seriously. They start to prep more. We have seen that be good for IG, who look better now than they did at the start of the split for sure. Yeah, and some of the, again, you said the quality of opponents, super important. Yeah, IG, they lost to Anyone's Legend 02. They lost to BLG 02. LNG's they 2-0'd JDG. They split games with Top Esports, the #1 team in the group. They're, first stand representatives. Like, when you're splitting games with a team like that, like, okay, like, you are clearly playing against superior opponents compared to RNG and OMG, who are now out of the league for the rest of the year. We're getting into the picks and bans. Cubby, you did ask
Did not answer what we'd like to see different out of EDG. I don't think you can win the scaling game. I think if IG plays an early game comp and you play scaling, IG can run you over. I think you have to try to gear yourself early again and take advantage of when champions might be weak. But I think if IG just matches that energy, they're just going to win straight up. You need to mismatch these comps and then just take advantage. I just don't know how they're going to be able to do it. Xiao needs to do more on an early game champion, but I don't know if he's got that option.
Really curious to see the Poppy ban here on blue side. I'm just wondering if EDG is maybe trying to open anything up. As with a lot of the quality supports down, I think the Poppy is one of the few engaged supports you can play. Obviously, weak lane phase, but can be really impactful in the fights. And definitely something that has been flexed around a little bit is the Shy's even been playing it into Cassante. And that's kind of where my head's at right now. Do we maybe see a Cassante sneak in for ZDZ? Is speaking of the Shy, Italy taken away as well. And that's Aaliyah that has been really big for Angel in the past is not going to be given over, as that's the ban. And we have seen different bans in all 3 games this series, Jan.
Yeah.
I feel like that, again, is going to be something for fans at home as we get into these best of 5 Fearless. With the best of 3s, we really didn't see teams actually switching up bans at all. But it was only when sides would swap. I really feel like in these best of 5s, you're going to see bans evolve throughout a series to set up your openers a little bit better. So with Poppy being taken away, I do think that opens things up a little bit for Pantheon. Don't want to face that steadfast presence. So it might have been the idea here for Xiao Hao is they're going to go with something fast yet again here, Yanni.
Yeah, I like it. I think that's what you have to do. You just have to manage to get plays going early. We really need to see Pantheon ults come in at level 6 doing some damage. Oh my goodness,
now?
we are just hands checking people early on.
That's disrespectful. I love it. That's Akali now is disrespectful. I love it. Nothing else to say. Yeah.
All right,
Angel, what do you got?
What are we going to pair? Yeah, I was going to say, what are we going to pair mid lane with this Pantheon, right? Because Azir's not available, Talia's not available, Rise was already been picked, so is Ahri. These are really the most champions that Angel has played. It's Victor that he's had the most games on. It's just not a good pairing. However, what is a good pairing? We're going to get Lucian Nami. We need to see more out of On, and they're going to put the ball in his hands this game.
Nami's definitely the faster pairing with the Lucian, whereas the Milio scales a little bit more, and then you have the R circle that can try and help against hopefully a Sion or an Akali. As JJ... I'm so surprised that Rookie just slammed Akali like that, and they're going to throw more bans at Angel. I mean, the good matchups against Akali left are like, you could play LeBlanc, but then you're playing LeBlanc into Skarn or Sion, so like that's not happening. I don't even think that's worth a ban now for IG. You could just ban away Corki. I'm trying to think of like other just mid laners that can like do damage to Sion and Skarner and also have a decent lane against Akali. And with all the mid laners that you highlighted taken off the board, it's tough.
Yeah, if you pick Corki, you have no magic damage. All right, so this Victor's off the board, right? So here's what he's got left. He's got Aurora and Hui that he's played 2 games on. Akali's taken. Jace is out of meta. Silas, Galio already gone. It's LeBlanc. It's Vladimir. It's Yone.
I think you're banning Aurora for sure.
Yeah.
Like, Vladimir, we only saw into Aurora. Yone, you don't want to play into Akali.
No.
Yeah.
He might have to pull out something completely new that he hasn't played all year.
Even like Hui, I mean, you can get CS, but you're still going up against Akali later on. Like, you got to land a crazy fear. All right, well, that's a concern too.
He's 1-2-1. He's 1-2-1 in 2 games.
Yeah, that's not great. Well, again, that's a pretty alpha Akali this early on, but
yeah, so good.
We're struggling to figure out how you can deal with it still.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to be able to just assassinate On and Wink, right? Like, either of them are going to be easy pickings, unless Wink plays it exceptionally well.
Yeah, take away the tanks. I think we see a Lulu ban here, maybe, from EDG. You can play, like, I mean, if you want to go old school, Zeri Lulu or Aphelios Lulu into this lane, actually pretty good. I mean, high key. Aphelios has been kind of a forgotten about champion that might actually sneak in some of this Fearless. I think Aphelios Lulu would actually be like legitimately a really good game for it if Lulu's let through here.
Yeah, I think you're right. Anything you can do
to
make sure that Lucian Nami only get a CS advantage and just kind of keep it easy at that. But with that Lulu ban, we're seeing Gala get aggressive. Is going to pull out the Kalista. Renata is available if they do want that pairing.
It's maybe a war of circles. I will say that Kalista Renata into the Nami Lucian, if you don't get a kill very early, that lane is favorable. The scaling is really nice for Lucian as Aatrox picked
on
up.
the board too.
I like Aatrox this game. I just don't think that we're tanky enough as EDG. So, because again, Aatrox, if he's able to scale through a fight, can be really nice. But I see a lot of ways to CC and like hopefully one-shot him if you're IG with... oh, we're going Nico.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a tough one for EDG. You're squishy in the Pop Blossom, and if Aatrox pops in a fight, I think things are really hard. Aatrox can make life really difficult for IG. It's good into the Scion. I think that Akali can deal with it really well, but like into Scion, Skarner, then Kalista can make Kalista's life hard to auto-attack too. I see too many worlds where Aatrox can get 100 to 0'd. And that's my real concern, because I don't know who can catch that for EDG. It's not like you have a traditional engaged support that might be able to tank a Scion R, or might be able to tank a Skarner R. Who's going to catch Scion R? If it's going to be Pantheon, that's the only option, and that's hard.
The answer is run, Cubby. Get the hell out of there.
Yeah.
Because you are just going to get absolutely crunched. Any of your squishies catch it, you're done. You're dead.
So
I am looking toward Angel in this game, personally.
By the way, my other thing... Oh, you're going Angel? Oh, sorry. It's an I think. All right, go, Yanni.
Yeah. I'm going with Angel mostly because there's some squishy members over on the side of IG. They're carries. We have seen that Aurora can blow them up while keeping herself relatively safe. We've seen it happen in a couple instances so far this year in the LPL. Really needs to get in quickly. Chunk out this Lucian, right? Chunk out this Akali. Get them half HP or lower. Make them pause and not immediately want to commit to a fight. Or you just got to straight up one-shot them as the game progresses. I don't know if he's going to be able to do it. I think it's going to be difficult.
Oh, we're going to have to see. Of course, diving into Game 3. I think my other, big concern, when I see Pantheon in games, Pantheon needs to be able to win the front line. If he doesn't win the front line, for me, it's just not the same champion. You're playing against Scion, Skarner, Nico, and you have, a Lucian Nami behind you. I just don't think Pantheon has support in the front line this game.
It's tough.
I'm really concerned for the EDG comp yet again. I really like the way that IG's drafted in the last 2 games. And we'll see if EDG, they've been able to win early games, see if they're actually able to piece something together to win, but I think they get outscaled pretty hard. It's going to be tough this game.
The final game, perhaps, for EDG. Down 2-0 in this best of 5. All right, they got a 50-50 shot if we go to 40 minutes, according to this graph that you love so much. All right, you take those, right? Let's be honest.
I will say
a 50-50 shot.
Gala went HOB, so I'm curious if it's going to be the lethality Kalista at all, which I think would change the texture of this game quite a bit. Because then the IG comp, you would run out of damage. The idea, though, is that they're so tanky, it just doesn't really matter. And they should be able to execute on Lucian and the squishies, but I think it does change the texture a little bit of the game. It gives a little bit more scaling to EDG as time goes on, even if I still don't like the scaling. I think Pantheon just ends up being worthless in this game. And that's my concern. I'm very anti-Pantheon. I think Pantheon's being picked in a lot of scenarios where... Again, I think you really have to win the front line as this champion, and seeing it be first one or first two'd on blue and red side, it can just set up for games where if I'm drafting to make sure that Pantheon doesn't win the front line, I think it's really hard for him to function sometimes.
On opening up with W here, this is a little easier for Gala and Mako to be able to hit level 2, mostly because this Nico is just able to do so much. A champion that is incredibly hard to really outdo when it comes to poke and damage.
That doesn't add up to 100. Just want to throw that one out there. 46, I'm going to assume, for EDG.
You're right.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. It doesn't. The other 10% is
it was in draft.
For, the other 10% is this could have been a best of 3. And this meeting could have been an email. It's giving that kind of vibe. So see if EDG can kind of shake that and make Game 3 a little bit more interesting than the first 2.
Hold on. All right,
He can take
rookie.
damage.
Xiao will be spotted out by a ward, but did wrap up his clear with the Krug, so looking to get aggressive here, as On and Wink gonna at least try and hold this wave to really pressure Mako and Gala. And yeah, this is maybe gonna drag JJ down, which it does.
Just gonna wear
Good
this up.
spot.
Spot out Xiao.
Yeah, well done.
Things are okay. Again,
Really
the
well done by
longer-
IG.
Yeah, the longer that Pantheon is not able to do anything, the better for the side of IG. Again, a champion that really wants to get the ball rolling early. If you're able to prevent that, you're in good shape moving forward.
Actually, Rookie did burn the Shroud, so that makes it so that Pantheon might be able to point and click him. We might see a fast play into him, but
Oh.
wow, spotted again. Great presence in
Damn.
line from IG early on. I really like a couple of the plays they made just to try and make sure that they're safer. As Rookie going for the electrocute in this lane, not the same as the Fleet. I'm sure it's a second wind as well, but either way, he's been taken down quite low, quite early. And going to require the help of JJ to make sure that he can pick up most of this wave. Should
Not
be a
quite
base now.
landing out on that,
Yeah.
on that Q. 2-4-Vex.
Oh,
Skull
look
and
at
Mako
JJ.
will even things up, and yeah, JJ on his way down. There's no wards. They're aware that something might be going on here. He's going to drive his way in, stop this recall of Wink. On will stop as well. Teleports in the mid lane, which means that nobody will be showing up to the bot side. Oh no. Okay.
Yeah, we're diving.
Dastardly minions showing up. All right, JJ down to about half HP. Here we go. Bubble not going to land. On going to be the target, and he is dead. But they trade back on to Gala,
Okay.
but the kill goes to Wink.
That's not the best dive in the world for IG. The fact they pulled it off still okay, but these early plays going down actually really going to benefit Xiaohao. He might wait around for these Raptors to respawn. You can see he got a double crab. Going to deny the Raptors from JJ, so I think the appearance mid was definitely necessary for JJ, at least to help Rookie, as that lane's been stabilized, and Akali with levels is going to be a lot happier now, but the few appearances that he's made helping out his lanes, again, as a Skarner, I think fully appropriate, but let's give Pantheon a little bit of a lead. We'll see if Xiaohao can do anything with that.
Yeah, you know, if he hits 6 faster, that play needs to be made with the Grand Star. You have to go in and find a way somewhere. I don't know if it's going to be on the Shy. I got to be honest, I don't even know if you can really do it on the Rookie, because Rookie is...
It's got to go
going to be
bot.
pushed in for a large amount of time. Yeah, it's got to be bot.
You are correct. Yes. It's got to go bot. We'll say one positive from that play. I know Nami picked up the kill, but there was some discussion from another LPL enjoyer, Nightmare, about getting an earlier support item, and sometimes having scenarios where that's good. I will say getting an earlier Imperial Mandate, not bad at all for the Lucian. That is a big power spike for this thing.
It's
So
not just cope sometimes. You know.
No, it's not
Sometimes-
cope at all.
Sometimes it's
calculated.
cope. You know, sometimes you're like, oh, well, my support's going to get the right... No, it's legit.
Not cope at all for this, yeah.
Yeah, I'm with that.
See if Gala... we do have Xiaohao. He is yet to base, which is a little awkward for me. But he has snuck into the bot lane, and we'll see if Gala... okay, yeah, we're going to be...
Right, he's going to flash right on top of Mako, but Mako is going to flash away himself. Doesn't even land those Tangle Barbs, threw him in the wrong direction, but he's okay.
Still good enough reaction to get out of the bubble. And get a flash out of the Pantheon, who again hasn't based. And that, I mean, that's a difference maker. Pantheon has a base before he makes that play. You can see he's got a Thunder and change. Like, that's enough damage where if you get a little bit lower, keep in mind his passive, you get the crit at the end, right? So that actually could have been a difference maker.
Yeah, Cubby, I gotta be honest, it feels kind of doomed, right? I know it's still early. Xiaohao's not level 6 yet. First play on Pantheon does, like, first he gets stymied early, right? And matched by JJ.
Stymied. I like that word.
The play down there doesn't work. Ana's down CS in this matchup. Everything has gone wrong for EDG early, except for this mid.
Yeah, but even mid, like, I think Rookie, especially going electrocute's actually about on par with where I'd expect this matchup to be. He's down a little bit in XP because JJ shared, but it's not bad at all. And the Shy for me is outkicking his coverage in the top lane, but that's what we love about the Shy. That's just him as a champion, or a player. And honestly,
Hey,
Sion
he is a
sometimes
champion. You're right.
Yeah, he is a champion. He's going to have to be a champion in that bot lane as the very common, my team is playing Sion, and we're just going to swap the lanes simply to make sure we have the 1v2. Something that Sion really thrives in compared to other top laners. And yeah, he's just going to ult, clear this wave, kill some of the tempo, and now Lucian Nami will help with his dragon, but you can see Grub spawning in 10 seconds and pressure top and EDG. They don't want to send ZDZ into that 1v2. He's going to be doomed. So by simply just swapping as IG, they put EDG in a tough spot. They are going to secure the dragon, but they're losing out on a lane, whereas IG is playing 3.
Yeah, and that's time where this early game centric comp is not
Aatrox just
actually
walk
able
bot.
to do anything, right? Like, again, you know, you can't make a play. Your dragon is your play at that point. With these grubs being traded out like ships passing in the night, the Shy, his penchant for split pushing, that's going to be huge. Agala up here might be able to sneak another plate with the rest of the squad as they head up.
He's at the item breakpoint where he can win that 1v1, by the way, down bot.
Uh-oh.
And experience advantage too. No
Diving in, On is all alone right now, and he gets impaled as well. He is going to fall. Rookie gets that kill. Gala dies in the face of Xiaohao, though. It's JJ. Rookie looking for a little bit more here. JJ forced a flash over the wall. Rookie just waiting for a shuriken flip. He'll get back over. Ends up being a 1-4-1.
I really like, I know it's a 1-for-1. I really like the idea and direction, though, from IG, because, again, off that swap, their bot lane got 6 first. And they just brute forced a fight. So that Grand Starfall that you were talking about, Yanni, like, yeah, it's used and it gets something, but it's just an even play. And again, like, that buys time, buys scaling for IG. So I don't think that they got enough off of it, EDG did. And really like that play and force from IG. Again, I know it wasn't a max win, but the idea behind it, hey, our bot lane 6 and yours is not, that's pretty sound.
Yeah, and these kills are not equivalent, right? Sure, Xiaohao getting it, great. Your Pantheon's going to be a little bit stronger early. But Rookie gets the one on the other side. On is just dead. There's more time of Lucian being off the map. It's too much to overcome, it feels like, early. You know, and I hate to say it, right? The gold difference is not that high right now, but EDG have just gotten off on the wrong foot in this particular game, in a game 3 where they had looked better in the first 2 early games.
Again, I will say the fact that Gala is going for this lethality Callista, definitely more impactful for this lane. It does change the game a little bit in terms of scaling. I don't think it's a terrible game, though, for the lethality Callista, because, again, I spent a lot of time talking about one-shotting. Like, the value of taking out the Aatrox with a one-shot. They're the only champion of this game that can really defend against one-shots is the Pantheon with the E. I guess you can kind of argue Aurora with the Between Worlds and how that works, but even that's tricky. Like, not really against the Callista Q, right? If those are well placed from Gala, it can be really impactful.
Still have 2 minutes and 30 seconds till the next objective is up. Again, we're just waiting for EDG to maybe make a sick play, right? And it's kind of hard because we put a lot on the weight of Xiaohao's shoulders, but and, you know, it's not like Angel comes in and is like, hey, I have CC, I can roam around, make a play. ZDZ, it takes a while for his CC to get going, which means it's really just Wink hitting a bubble and Xiaohao ulting in. That means that there's just not that much opportunity.
Ooh.
Between Worlds is going to kiss Rookie on the way out.
That was a great shuriken foot from Rookie. I think he actually snuck out of that one with the E. And he can TP back, and Angel has no R. He's in trouble.
Yeah, this is tough. Mako is here. He will pop your Blossom, and now they're going to go look over for Angel. He'll hop away, but he's caught in the corner with nowhere to go.
Give it to Rookie.
Rookie is going to pick this one up. It is Feat of Warfare for IG, and a second kill for their mid laner, who might be looking for his 3rd straight MVP.
Well, not according to our broadcast, Yanni, but, you know. I really like how IG's playing out this game. I think that this has been a really clean game. Like, the theory behind it for IG, just taking what's given to them, it's been really, really nice to see. And I know that this is a matchup where we expect this to be pretty one-sided, like 3-0. No one on our broadcast team predicted that EDG would win this series. Majority of people had this one 3-0 and 3-1, right? So somewhere in there. But I think the form that IG showed in these games, like, even you could argue like EDG put more kills on the board, but as you've been saying throughout the series, Yanni, this series has never really felt close, even if on the scoreboard it's looked close at times. And this game, for me, is the best game we've seen out of IG so far with the early game. I love the direction that they've played with so far in this one. It's been really good to see. I think that they're again, just taking what's given to them with the comp and with some of the plays. Like that play misses from Angel. All right, Rookie has a TP. Just come back, kill him, right? Or JJ hovering the lanes, just making sure that that early game, you know, like some of the volatility between the Aurora Kali lane or even Lucian, Nami, and Pantheon coming down, like that's a solve for with JJ. I really like what we've seen so far.
Cubby, I fear it may just be a group ascend diff.
It could be.
I like what On's doing here, at least pressuring Gala.
I see a mandate.
For as much as they kept him down. I mean, yeah, that mandate, as you talked about earlier, the extra Kel, getting that mandate a little bit earlier, doing what he can. That's all you can do sometimes on this Lucian. Now this dragon is up. EDG pinging toward it, making their way over. Do wonder if IG are interested in a fight.
We'll say that is a real positive for EDG, just with the Lucian Nami. Oftentimes mid-priority, it's just yours. As we did see a calling pop by On, and they were able to force out IG. But IG going to drop that mid-wave, take control of the river, and start up this dragon. And there is no culling on, and I don't know if they can contest without it.
I think you might be right. It's looking pretty grim. Here comes the Nami tidal wave.
Oh, miss fight.
Stolen away by Zhao Hao. Rookie in the backside, but the double impale. The knockups. The Pop Blossom does not get used as they fly slot Mako. And now they're looking for a turnaround on. Takes a lot of damage, but he dishes out a lot himself. It's a double kill for Angel.
That's huge for EDG. The Pop Blossom never went out. Mako got into the Death Chamber, and now Gala's stuck under the turret. Likely to be another. They stole the Dragon as it was a miss smite from JJ and Gala, not able to sync up with the Callista.
Massive.
That's a huge win for EDG.
It's a third kill for Angel, too. We talked about he can get big. He can burst out some of these members. He's got 3 kills now. He's got a lot of gold in his pockets. Maybe it could be EDG's reality.
And that's huge. Again, that is a huge swing of the game. They're going to get first brick off this, too. That means almost feet secured, right? And they just need the next neutral objective. And take another look. I mean, I didn't think that this fight would be great for EDG, but the smite and the rend was not synced up. And then when Rookie goes in, Mako got too low too early. And he wasn't charging up the Pop Blossom before the Fates call, so he got thrown back in, goes down. There's no Pop Blossom, no big chain of events for Rookie and Gala to find the one shot. And with the setup gone, EDG is able to run him down.
Yeah, and they're still suppressed at the time that he takes the Fates call. So there's no extra knock up there. It's not like you bought that extra second for yourself, which could have been the difference. And Cubby, for the first time in this series, EDG win a fight and get more. They got that turret.
1k gold lead secured, and Rookie a little bit low. Actually might get chased. Again, Nami gives move speed.
Mako's in trouble.
Yeah, real ability to chase here. IG needs help. Does the Shy TP?
Stun him. Here's the Pop Blossom, lands on it too. Angel off on his lonesome right now. Mako will flash out of the bubble, and Rookie finds the kill. The Shy on the backside. ZDZ has joined the party. Rookie trying to TP out, but he gets killed. Over on the other side between worlds, but Angel was caught. On was not with the team. That's a lot of their damage will come in. Just a calling for a little bit of damage. It's a double kill for ZDZ. And overall, a 3 for 2 in favor of EDG.
Yeah, I'm kind of puzzled in terms of the big difference maker of that fight. I think that Rookie just being low was really what ended up hurting IG. They were split. The Shy coming in a little bit late, unable to save everything in this game, but yeah, I was kind of lost in the sauce on this one, I'm going to be honest. We need another look. I didn't see how JJ went down. Rookie's going to find the one shot on the wing, and of course Mako goes down after the Pop Blossom. That's kind of his job. Rookie being stuck with the difference maker. Shout out to ZZ. Rookie trying to TP back to the inner turret. Just couldn't really escape. And then I guess JJ just melted down by everyone else. So, all right. Ends up being a fight win for EDG. Conditions definitely better for them early on. They cash in. As that's going to turn into a Rift Hero for them in live. Yeah. So, that's feat secured for EDG. Well played.
Yeah, not too bad. Almost a 2,000 gold lead. ZDZ now has kills. We were talking about how, you know, Aatrox, if he gets going, will be able to make his mark in this game. Conditions are not bad for EDG. It feels like they're in a spot where, hey, we win one more fight. Maybe, just maybe, we could be looking at a game 4. Because the scaling on IG is not the same as the scaling from game 2.
No, it's not. And that's kind of my concern, right? Like, we have this Lethality Callista, a tank Scion, a tank Skarner, and a Kali who, like, your carries can really only do damage to squishies. And to be fair, most of EDG is squishy. But there's not this nearly close to the same DPS that EDG can have, and that On's going to be able to punt through. And Man, this Lucian, we have seen the Lucian-Nami combo be rather deadly in its ability to just chunk out the backline. I think that if the tanks aren't there for IG, the ability for them to kind of step up and brute force is big.
And I think what's really interesting, I'm a big Lucian connoisseur, is this duo is so strong because it allows you to go and grab an attack speed item second, because you're not missing out on the big damage. Now you get that rapid fire cannon, which is really big against a champion like Kalista, being able to outrange her and make trades a little bit easier, as the turret lives on a sliver. So just something to keep in mind, that On gets to play at range a little bit more against some of these champions.
You can see with the Lucian-Nami, of course, mid-prio. In the hands of EDG, Xiaohao backseating, making sure that mid-outer turret falls, which it does. And with the dragon spawning here on the map, we'll see how aggressively IG wants to play around this. I think fights are still okay for IG if they want them. But Rookie was spotted on a control ward. They dipped down to try and force him out of the potential angle. We'll clean up the wave, but EDG going to try and play their waves for the next spawn. Or I should say next timer. We'll see if this is enough to actually start up the dragon. As EDZ is here first. Gawa's going to clean this up and see if it's enough to start.
Oh, JJ.
That's a lot from JJ. They can force on mid.
They're going to just force on the strong side here.
Oh, that's a bad culling.
Yeah, it doesn't do a whole lot. Doesn't quite land the way you wanted to.
Nope.
Okay, JJ going to take the blast pant. Look to link up with Rookie. Still a bit of a mismatch here. IG does need to link up. This is sole point for EDG if they want it.
Hextech Soul too. Not one that you want to give away. IG starting this is a bit of a surprise.
We'll see if Xiaohao can steal this again. Because this is a hard combo to steal it from. He was able to do it once. It is. See if he can do it again. On looking to move up here. Tags going up a little bit. Getting aggressive. He's going to get skewered over on the side. They're going to flash on the Rookie. He gets chunked hard. Pop Blossom onto 3 on the back line. And Gala's looking to hop around. On got caught and goes down. Knock up on the Xiaohao, but ZDZ looking to tank up and run the fight. The Shy gets bubbled. Gala is stuck, and the melees are meleeing him down. The Shy forced away. Angel getting good damage in. JJ all the way off on the side. Teleport coming in for Rookie, looking to save this play, and now he's going to look for ZDZ to level down on him. Does he have the damage? The Infernal Chain's not quite landing, but he chunks Rookie down to half as they're just looking to buy a little bit of time. See if JJ wants to try and steal this.
Oh, we might fight more. I mean, Rookie just TP'd back, got chunked by Aatrox and based, and we're seeing in these fights, again, they got the Lucian there. They took down On, but the sustained DPS is not there. Rookie was forced out of the fight by Xiaohao, and Angel is... Okay, we're actually going to try and steal. Nope, not close. But Rookie was forced out. Yeah, that is sole point. Gawa, again, he's the Thauti Quista, so he's limited in terms of what he can do. And despite Lucian going down first, going down cleanly, just not nearly enough damage for IG to win the fight. I do like this Otacon start. But IG's behind and things aren't really getting that much better for them, so I'm okay with them forcing hard here. And this might just go over. Honestly, it's not bad for EDG either. But they know.
EDG. He teleported in. EDG don't want to give this away.
No.
Angel showed up to the party as well. 3,000 HP. Culling going down. It's eaten by the Shy. The knockup only lands onto 1. Smite is secured for IG as Rookie's on the backside looking for On. Looking to dash over again with his ultimate. Will get it done, but the Shy bleeds out. And EDG are healthy, looking to hunt down Rookie as he has to use the Rocket Belt to try to escape. But you cannot escape the clutches of ZDZ.
This game's wrapped, man. We're going to 4, Yanni. I don't know how IG plays their way back into this one. I feel like they just took a really volatile composition, and when that second dragon didn't go their way, things were doomed. And we're like, there's not even close to being enough damage with the draft we have for IG to really make this work at this point.
That's one thing we didn't really harp on, is that they don't have a lot of damage.
Well, yeah.
Their top side, nothing. You tank up a lot, you don't do a lot of damage.
And the Thauti Callista too? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why he went with Thauti Callista here, but he's a smarter player than I. Take a look at this replay as they just managed to take out the Shy pretty easily. Sure, the Otacon secured for IG, but Angel on the backside getting in big chunks of damage.
Yeah, again, I think that the Akali being taken 1-2, like you almost, that's why I was talking about the Aphelios Lulu. Because it felt like you needed a big damage marksman. And taking Callista, like the Aatrox pick too, it makes it really tough to auto-attack as Callista. I don't think it's the wrong game looking at the enemy comp to go the Lethality Callista. I do think it's the wrong game looking at your own comp to be able to do this. Because we have seen Gala just not be able to do... It feels like IG press their buttons, they are only able to kill one member, and they just get absolutely ran down by the rest of EDG no matter which member they've taken out. It feels like the fight so far.
Couldn't agree more, Cubby. That's how it's played out.
Yeah.
And that's why EDG have this 5,000 gold lead. Minute 50 to the Baron is up. Soul in 2 minutes and 20 seconds. It's going to take a massive collapse from EDG to fall to IG here, and maybe this could be it. Rookie going to get the solo kill here. Angel knocked up. Angel goes down. Xiaohao shows up. The Pop Blossom is there, but the rest of the damage is gone. It's a quick 2-for-1 play, though, for IG.
Yeah, well played there by Rookie, as that ult connected, and that backflip too, just to make sure the Aurora falls is nice. So IG able to find the one-shots on the 2, and how hard do they want to force this with JJ going in? He does have a flash if we want to get crazy.
Try to get Wink. He forces the flash out of Wink.
Well played.
Turret goes down for IG as well. So they pull the gold back just a bit.
I don't blame IG for trying to push this one all the way through. I think they're just going to try and get this wave in and then reset from there. But good find from Rookie. Rookie's really showed up today, Yanni. Which, if you are an IG fan, that's good to see. It has been 3 good games from him. I know that this game, I'm expecting this game to go EDG's way. I think it's really, really tough, just down 4K gold with the draft we have for IG to win this. I think it's be they are the better team, but this would be the throw of the century from EDG if they drop this game, quite frankly, at this point.
It could happen. We have seen crazy things. After all, crazy is our
Sion
game.
gets big, you know. Sion can get too tanky for the game, maybe. I think that's the hope.
Problem is that's going to take a long time to actually get there.
Yeah, it does.
24.5 minutes in, and we are looking at a 5-kill Aatrox. We're looking at a 4-kill Aurora. Like, that, it's going to be so hard. It's too much for Kala to avoid.
I think the other big thing, like the fact that without a Callista, the Pantheon can win out on the front line. Because we have seen, like, a Xiaohao empowered by the Nami, empowered by what's behind him, actually be okay. And, of course, it helps that every single skill is being thrown at On, who is 1, 5, and 9.
Yeah,
so that they have
the Lucian.
Yeah, they have done an effective job of taking down Lucian, but it has opened up space for other players to pop off, and definitely seen that from the top side EDG in this one.
And you know what? I don't think that's the worst call in the world. I think that, you know, when you have Lucian Nami here,
you got to kill Lucian.
You have to force the other players, the other champions to beat you.
It's got Nai
EDG has just risen to the occasion.
Yeah, like he's got Nai, so you have to continue to deal with him. It's the right call. Again, I think the hope's this game. Maybe Sion gets too tanky for the game. As IG trying to sit on their control ward. JJ going to give himself away. TP coming down from the shy. They're committing to playing this dragon out through bot. We'll see if they can cut off Aatrox on his way in. That would be a big win.
See what
IG
you
gonna
got.
pull this one down. Yeah.
Teleport.
Oh, Aatrox is TPing above.
Here.
I like it.
I like it. Here comes Xiaohao to the back line. Who's he going to hop on? He gets knocked up. Who's going to secure it? It's stolen away by IG. Perhaps a brief respite as the Pop Blossom hits everyone. But ZDZ is sustaining. He's knocked up. Look at the side. Angel getting run down. He's forced to flash away as Gala's full HP, and he wants a piece of EDG. But it looks like he's going to walk back. He realizes his team's a little low, and IG steal a fight.
Rookie couldn't get back into that one because he was chunked. If he's able to follow up on that 5-man Pop Blossom, might have been a game changer, as Mako bought a ton of space and a big win for IG to deny that dragon. Of course, that is Hextech Soul that would have been on the table for EDG, so they buy themselves some time. And that time around, we actually saw the one-shot get off and be really nice, as this one going in for Xiaohao again. I think Pantheon going into the front line, it can be tough. He gets garnered up and gets taken down. As you're going to see, Mako hits everyone. Well-placed redemption by Wink. I will give him credit for that one. But yeah, Rookie was chunked out by On and Z2Z before the rest of the fight played out, so just wasn't able to make anything happen with that 5-man Pop Blossom in the back half. But you're close to a perfect fight there from IG again. Only dream scenario from there was trying to sync up with Akali too. Rookie being chunked out was a difference maker.
Yeah, and a big shout from Mako with the second knockup on the Fate's Call. Interrupts Q3 from Aatrox, which would have killed JJ.
Good call. I missed that.
That is ridiculous. Perfect timing, interrupted it. could have been a big difference maker in the fight. And instead, now EDG fans and the team might have some nervous stomachs. They still have the gold lead, but IG has displayed the ability to win a fight when things aren't even going perfectly for them. The bad news for them is that Mako does not have a flash for the next little while. So Pop Blossom is going to be much harder to get 5 players knocked out.
And deep breath here as IG have kind of dug deep and down 4K gold in a game that we feel like they get outscaled. They shouldn't be in it. I think the potential still to one-shot people definitely going to be real for IG, but they need that to be impactful and need to find a way to reset these fights afterwards. I think that's the big thing. We'll see if EDG can do better chasing them down. Because, man, after these R keys go down, Yanni, I mean, what's left in the tank for IG? Like, it's just soaking damage from there.
Yeah, it's trying to get rotations off. It's trying to buy time for Gala to get his damage in. I mean, again, we see this lethality Kalista build, as you talked about. If he still is able to pin cushion people, yes, his Rens will still deal damage. He just picked up his opportunity, so he's now on 3 items. So he is, still has power to him. Just not the same sort of power you'd expect in a typical 3-item Kalista. Baron is up. It just buys more time for IG to try to, Rookie maybe, get more damage. Maybe one-shot. If he's able to one-shot Angel, and they can CC on, like that's a fight that's winnable for IG. Minute and 30 seconds until this next dragon where EDG gets a second chance. See if they can get the job done.
See the Shy, he's a lot of things going down. Shy's been spotted. Oh, on? Okay. At dash in mid, I was... With JJ over the wall with Mako, I was kind of worried there. Hey, did we see something? I think the big summoner spell is still missing in this game. It is going to be Angel's Flash. That will be really the only flash not available for the upcoming dragon, Yanni.
Yeah, Mako's is up. It'll be big.
Yeah. Have to see what happens. The Shy helping escort Gala here from the mid wave, and last chance to reset here if you are either of these teams before this dragon spawns.
Game is getting tense here, Cubby. IG, we thought this was done and dusted, but after stealing away that dragon, bought themselves a little bit of extra time. See if they can do it once again. 35 seconds, a Thornmail picked up for Jeje. That's going to be important. IG are now redeploying, looking to take purchase in their topside jungle. Ana's going to dash forward onto Mako. The Cullen goes down. JJ is going to block a lot of it, but that means Mako's got it back.
I was pretty surprised to see him walk up like that after he ended up dropping the clone. And yeah, you called it. He's got it back. So Mako going to the hills. 5v4 for EDG and a good pocket carved out here to start. Again, IG going to be forced to play this dragon through bot. The Shy will fix mid, and then we'll go from there.
All right, he's going to take the gates into Wolves. Not a whole lot of vision here for IG as they're flying blind. Mako going to look to link up with the rest of his team here. Angel looking for a flank as well for...
They can tank this forever.
The top side of this river. Angel
this
over
is
on
the
the
same
side.
formation, by the way, as the last fight. It's really close.
Rookie's up 2 levels. He gets chunked out kind of hard. It's going over
Angel.
the way of IG. Look at the side. Here we go. Pop Blossom lands on the 3. Gala looking to go forward as they slam the Aatrox into the wall. Rookie assassinates Wink, but Gala's in trouble. He's stuck in the melees, and he can't get out. ZDZ is still alive. Mako, the Shy, trying to do their things, but down goes Rookie. JJ on the side will take out On as ZDZ was unable to get more. It is another win for IG. They refuse to lose.
I fear we're getting to the point where the Scion is just too tanky. They cannot move the Scion, and the Shy did a great job in that fight of just being a pest in the middle of everything. Again, all the damage is coming out of the Rookie execute, and they find Rookie on the back half, but that opener to the fight between like the Scion, the Nico, some of the things that we were kind of teasing in draft where we did like this IG draft. They're able to buy so much space and have a big opener. You called it, Rookie up 2 levels. That's big against Angel, because guess what? Rookie, he hits the backflip. He goes straight in and says, thank you very much, Angel. I'm going to deal with you. Forces the flash out of him. Mako, another big one. Of course, the Fates called afterwards to chain that one up. They kind of ignore ZDZ, who gets some work done in the back half. But look at the Shy. He stands in the middle of everything, buying space for his team. On can't walk past him. And On's not even close to being able to deal with the Shy. As JJ comes back into the fight, deals with him. Mako flashes. ZDZ didn't have enough left in the tank to clean him up. And it ends up being a win for IG as they take a dragon, close the gold gap 2K. And I think that our assessment of the scaling might need to be reassessed ourselves up here, Yanni, because they have to ignore the Scion. And if the Shy enters fights like that, they really can't ignore him. And that's a huge positive for IG.
Yeah, all of a sudden, the Shy is the unmovable one. Rookie's zoning has been incredible too. On could not get close to hit some of these members before his Nami went down. And when JJ and the Shy are so tanky, this Nami needs to stay alive to give the extra damage to the Lucian. You need that to get over the top and just overload these health bars. It has not happened. And again, just not being able to secure these dragons for EDG. They're missing that little bit of extra damage, the little bit of extra slows to be able to chase down some of these members. They're looking to make a side play on a Rookie. He's going to use his Shroud, try to escape. He's living on the edge. Dashing away, gets stunned. Angel trying to kill him. Rookie at half. He's gone golden, but IG is looking to show up to the party. Zhao Hao half HP. I'm sure he can flip back in. Oh no! It's disaster! IG come up huge. Triple kill for Rookie, and there goes the neighborhood. Baron in the cards.
That's the setup, baby. JJ, he holds on to two of his teammates, lines him up for Rookie to throw him into the wall, into the gray screen, as that's the wombo combo for IG finally hitting. And I don't know why we're Grand Star falling in a Kali. For God's sakes, like, we have a Shroud, we have Zanya's. Look at all the time that IG had to actually rotate up there and support Rookie. All the tools that EDG thrown top into, like, for what? Baron goes over. And EDG feels like they're digging their own grave here, their own demise, Yanni. As that play, that's why Akali, you can't play like Pantheon into it. I think that's part of why we saw Akali drafted so early. And man, what an impale from JJ to line everyone up as Rookie brings the boom and sends EDG to the graves. And now IG cracked open a big lead.
May have just sent EDG back to Nirvana with that one. 35 minutes in,
right.
They're now down 4,000 gold, but EDG trying desperately. Oh, Angel is so dead. He will fall. Rookie wants to pad his case for a third straight MVP as IG win another fight and the siege is on.
I fear it's just not EDG's day, as the two orgs that have hoisted LPL trophies, or I should say Worlds trophies for the LPL at Worlds, well, it's IG, the ones that have their champions still here and the champions of EDG. It feels like an unfair fight when you have all the trophies in one pocket. And that has been what it's looked like tonight, Yanni. As, man, I cannot believe, like, again, the scaling of this game. I feel like it was so pendant on the damage from the Akali. And just how Rookie has been able to show up at the end. As, all right, we're getting the cinematic. I mean, again, why are we Grand Star falling in Akali? So much time and space can be bought. It's a backflip. It's a rocket belt. It's a combo into the Zanyas. And guess what? The teammates have arrived. That's a great R to get out of the combo from Angel. Another backflip. Everyone lines up. A 3-fer for Rookie as he sends everyone home. Looking like a stud with how his team set him up with that fight is Mako.
EDG just have to go for it. This dragon is up. You have to hope that you are the ones to secure it this time. Maybe it's enough. They're going to engage onto JJ. On is going to do what he can, but those pistols aren't doing a damn thing to a juggernaut like Skarner.
They're giving?
The top lane wave is shoving in. I cannot believe they're giving this away, Cubby.
They didn't have the setup. They have to respond to the wave. Angel is down almost. He's going to get 16 off this wave. I do think that 16s are kind of big at this point. So, I guess that's my cope for giving, but I'm kind of with you, Yanni. It feels like we're running out of time.
Feels like Zhao just needed to give his life, right? Rookie, hold on, he's getting called down. He just lives anyway. The Shroud difference there means that On can't secure it. The Shy is starting to take some damage, though. Teleport's coming in, and they finally get in front of him. Nice job there by ZDZ, as they are still trying to chop down the Scion, and they finally will. He goes down. A breath, a respite for EDG.
Yeah, I think the shiny to the R earlier, like right away. As that play, once Rookie's out, it's over. Like, we've seen how important Rookie is for the damage of IG. If he's out of the fight, there's no chance. And it does give EDG some time. Again, level 16s were hit by both Angel and On in that last passage of play, so I think that is a pretty big deal. Definitely something they can bring to the Baron and hopefully find I guess a W that could have been a W and now might have to be a backdoor W.
And it's the most LPL gold graph of all time, my friend. 5,300 at its peak. 6,100 at its valley if you're EDG. And they are listless. They are lifeless. There is not much for them to play for. The good news is On is full build. The bad news is I think you need On to get a little stronger.
He went Maw. There's only one threat. I guess there's two threats of magic damage.
You have to. I just...
Wow.
I just don't
maybe.
know, man.
I think it's fine. It's just... It really kind of shows or goes to show how big Rookie is on this Akali. Oh, that's Cleanse Burn.
Cleanse is out. There's the calling, but the minion wave is going to eat most of it.
Rookie.
Here comes Zhao Hao as he gets
boy.
pulled in. Tries to get onto Gala. Is going to change focus here. ZDZ on the back line. Maybe something can happen here. Rookie still hasn't found a way in. Pop Blossom lands on the 2. Now he's going to look for ZDZ. Trying to take him down. But Rookie is down. He falls. The Shy is falling. Jeje forced out. There we go, EDG. They're still in it.
Good angle there by EDG. The TP from ZDZ. Definitely threw IG for a loop, and death timers are pretty long. Let's see how much EDG can get. They're ignoring that bot wave. They're going to try and push this one all the way in. I don't know if they can end the game or not, but they for sure get this inhibitor.
All right, the push is on. They do have a big double super up wave, it looks like, in their base. They've pinged it, but they're not sending anybody for it.
No, it's a free and
Tell me,
hit.
I think they want to try to end the game.
I think they have to.
This is their only shot.
Yeah.
Jeje and Gala need to delay. Mako's
No
up
ults.
in 9. Maybe, just maybe, the hopes of EDG are not done
the wave.
yet. Here, there's, yeah, you're right. That wave is
Rookie
gone.
has
Wink
TP.
is slowed. Here's the calling down. It's not
Nothing.
actually going to hit anybody big.
Oh.
Flashes are spent. Jeje.
Where is
Forced
Rookie?
back.
He's
is
got
up.
a TP.
They're going to look to chase him down. JJ's there. He's
just have
spotted
to
out
stall.
On. On's got a dash. JJ can't drive into him. They're still trying to run.
He's going to take this. Another double super wave, Yanni, and they might actually be able to get another Nexus turret. One Nexus turret did fall on that push by the supers, so you can see IG just chasing them into the ends of the earth. Also, they're keeping them on the map so they can get a free Baron. So you're going to see Rookie, he's going to turn the tides. EDG has to respond. The end failed for them as there was no wave. The backdoor bonus came back. And they're kind of being jailed on the map here. Weren't able to get a full reset off. Have to fix their waves. Baron going to be started by IG. Gala is at half for this. If they can actually get here in time, you can see Rookie playing bodyguard. And I don't think they're going to be allowed to walk in.
They got no vision. They got no TPs.
Yeah, got to play the wave.
They have no hope. As down goes the Baron. EDG threw their best hate maker, all their weight behind it.
All right. Now it's Hextech Soul. But you can still see, like, the everything is really on Rookie's shoulders. He is the damage. He has to have a big fight or a big R in order for them to win. If he is found as he is dealt with, then you will see On potentially take over later on as he stacked up some more magic resist. Has the treads now on the Lucian to try and survive this onslaught between Mako and Rookie. But all eyes on IG when they decide to press those R keys. As On.
Oh, On, I like this. Here we go. They're going to try to make this play on a Rookie. It didn't work last time. Zhao's going to chase him down. He goes golden. Look at the base.
I mean,
they're
brother.
pushing in the mid lane here. Multiple members. Remember,
this
Rookie
is a
has
Baron.
that TP.
Yeah, this is Hextech Soul gone.
Oh, I love this. They corral
It's Hex Soul
EDG.
gone.
Yeah, they force him back to the base. This is an odd man fight. They do have Hex Gates to be able to get there a little faster. But this is a problem. It's Wink, it's On, it's Zhao Hao. Your solo laners aren't around. There's only one TP available.
Ondo sums.
ZDZ is on his way. Here comes the teleport all the way over on the backside. Rookie's going to teleport too. He's going to meet ZDZ.
He's got to keep him out. That's really it.
Tidal wave coming through.
Angel.
Gala's alone with Angel, but Gala is healing. Down goes the dragon. There is Mako with the Pop Blossom. Rookie, cleanup crew. Jeje still alive, trying to live. Will fall, but ZDZ, he heals a lot. Can he out-heal all the damage? No, he can't. Down they go. EDG, knock up there. Rookie there. Angel Golden. And
Shy's gonna clean this one up. That's just gonna be game. I think we have a TP in, and that's it. Hextech Soul secured for IG. Nexus Turret trying to respawn. Well, that should be it. That should be it, Yanni.
They tried valiantly, did EDG.
I mean,
they fought for everything
they really
that they
pitched
were
this
worth.
one. Yeah.
And they had it.
Yeah. This probably should have been, you know, not the result it was. His Wink's going to die to Rookie. But, man, Rookie, what a series. What a performance from him. As he's going to put the finishing touches on this one for IG, who have no minions. Okay. I think we're still fine. There is no ult now on Rookie.
Xiao's up in 5.
That's it. Okay, never mind.
All right, EDG are not out of this one yet. Dude, what is going on? All right, there's a big problem, though. It's called Hextech Soul. Take a look at this replay.
On does not position well in this replay. He's going to dash up and into Rookie. I think Angel having the R here is fine, but you have to deal with Rookie. I don't think Gala matters at all. And this, like, On, again, he's Sumless. He gets ulted by the Shy, ulted by Mako. He dashes up. Still gets caught by the barbs, just gets entirely one-shot. If he doesn't have summoner spells, feels like he can't function. Nice dash from ZDZ. Actually got out of a backflip there from Rookie. But Rookie able to use his R to outplay the rest of this one. And no hope for ZDZ. He falls to Rookie. And again, I think that the only fights we have seen be successful for EDG, you got to throw your stuff at Akali. And so if I'm Angel, if I'm EDG, like everything has to go to Akali, except for Xiao Hao. No more Grand Starfalls onto Akali. All right, we're done.
Yeah.
We've seen enough.
Get that out of there.
Get that out. We'll say Serpent's Fang has come through.
Yes.
For ZDZ. I think that's where the shield value definitely significant for IG. I think that's a decent pickup in the back half. That said, Overlord's Bloodmail for Sion. That item is really OP on him later on. This Sion is massive. I don't really see, again, a world where they're able to deal with him. And we have seen Aatrox get bigger in this game. Like, he's been okay. But I don't think he's going to be big enough to actually get through the Sion or get through the rest of the team. As inventories are interesting here later on. We have the support item for Mako, where you get more. It's Wardstone, I believe. He's got 3 control wards. Yeah, it's a nice item value right there at support, and then of course some heal cut on him too. That's going to be very nice.
Yep, you need it for that Aatrox. You saw him with one auto attack heal for 1,600.
That's it.
If the fight conditions are right. Listen, you know, maybe
that's
there's
it.
Still hope. What do you mean that's it? That's a lot, bro.
Well, Hope's not still on EDG, sadly, anymore.
Yeah. Long time ago. But hey, listen, 45 minutes into this game, minute and 20 till this Baron's up. You can Elder flip it. EDG should have had this game. They did not. They fumbled the bag, but they're still not dead. This Nexus still stands. The fight from the second team out of Group Nirvana is impressive.
The grit's there. I don't know if everything else is. As you can see, the Shy, it's a large Scion. And On just dashed in. That might be enough. You can see him really trying to poke around.
Really far up.
Well, he is Lucian, but this is where the Hextech
Soul adds up. You get slowed. He's forced to flash.
Oh,
nice sidestep there. Here we go. We're going to turn it around onto JJ, who's half HP and falling fast. There's one. We're going to get more, though. Xiao Hao down to about half HP. Rookie not able to land the Shuriken flip on anybody. Hang on. This could be big. They're going to go to the Shy next. The Shy is starting to melt. Rookie got taken to half HP. Mako with a big Pop Blossom trying to turn it around for IG. The respawn is coming through for Xiao Hao as he hops onto Gala. Gala is going to respawn too, but down is Aatrox. There's the big Raid Boss who falls. Rookie gets it done. Triple kill. Game, set, match.
What a series from Rookie. It felt like he was 1v9 from start to finish, as he was truly the carry of this game. He got chunked out early on in that fight. I thought it was enough to maybe turn the tides, but not even close. Rookie survives. IG thrive. It's a 3-0 for them.
Wow. Despite EDG's best efforts, not able to get it done. That top lane play, where they just go after Rookie.
Rookie carried so hard, man.
Yeah, dude, it's a triple MVP night for Rookie.
It's pretty rare now in like common day League of Legends. You see someone carry that hard. Rookie, I mean, he carried every game. I think game 2 Gonwa got robbed. But goddamn, that game 3 carry. Like, we saw the fights. And all the damage was on this Akali's shoulders. They just didn't have the CC to really deal with Akali. Again, a lot of the crowd control was conditional. And that's what can happen when Akali is allowed to pop off. Those setups from Mako and the Shy were beautiful. Rookie cashed in pretty much every time. Dropped a 15 bomb in this game 3.
Did you see Gala's face
that's pretty
as
good.
he took the bow?
No, I didn't.
He just looks so worried. He takes his bow. He lets out a big exhale. And he's like, "Thank God, Rookie bailed me out for my crap build." Like, oh man.
What a series from Rookie, man. That was a treat to watch. Honestly, I know we kind of thought it'd be 3-0 coming into the night, but to have Rookie hit that form, he was ballistic in that series.
Yeah, he had the mechanical plays in that Akali game. He had the big brain plays in that Silas game. He was taking what he was given in that Rise game. And overall, in all the phases of the game, he played so incredibly well today. Really impressive for a guy who has been much maligned in Split 2, really this year as a whole, for his inconsistency. The solo laners of IG, there was a lot of inconsistency that were displayed by both of them. Rookie today, playoff time, yes, it's EDG. It's a Group Nirvana team. But you know what? Maybe it's a return to form. You have to win the games that are in front of you.
Yeah, and I got to say, again, EDG put up some fight, but outside of Game 3, I really don't feel like Games 1 and 2 were that close. And then Game 3, we just got... what a game from Rookie, man. I cannot say enough. Rookie just absolutely popped off. That was really fun to see. Again, a game where you have set up for the Akali. I didn't really talk about the lack of CC for Akali, which I think ended up being really important in the back half of that game, right? But god damn, I mean, again, it's rare in Common Day League where you get to see hard carries like that. I think that is one of the parts of Fearless drafts where, because you're going to get so many variables, and like later games where a lot of the times when champs get picked in competitive, it's because they're balanced or they're well-rounded. In later games in Fearless, we're seeing, no, you can't take the well-rounded stuff because it's gone. You have to take something with a better identity. And can you play that comp's identity better than the opponent's? I feel like this, even in Game 3, was definitely a sign of that, where, hey, can we play our Archie identity better than what the other team has? And the fact they scaled back into that game and that Rookie did that on the Rift, that was disgusting, man. That was a fun VOD to watch, or fun VOD to go through if you are at home and missed that one. You just get to watch the Rookie pop off and have the most entertaining team in League, and IG entertain you like none other tonight.
It was a classic Rookie performance, and IG, the team of superstars, again, entertaining, as you said, was probably the best way to put it. Very entertaining way to cap off this series, a 3-0 victory for them. Now, the question is, what's next? They have made it. They are up there with Top Esports, Anyone's Legend, JDG, and BLG. Top Esports is going to have the first pick of who they want to play against. If you ask me, it kind of feels like we're looking toward a BLG-IG series. I don't think any of these top teams would willingly choose IG. It would be, I mean, maybe you want to do it because you're saying, hey, we want to throw down the gauntlet, but let's be real, you gotta pick your teams intelligently.
Rookie's damage is ballistic in this game. I know, like, 4 in Akali, if you guys look up.
Shy's damage was big too.
Yeah, well, that's less insane because you just fist fight each other for the entire lane, which is really fun. But yeah, he was insane as well. But no, Rookie's damage, like, if you look up average Akali damage, again, you're playing a melee, you're only doing damage in fights. The fact that he dropped 43k damage in this game is ridiculous. And I guess we just get the Rookie highlight reel, as of course Gala was able to secure that one with a rip, and then it's just the Rookie show from here on out. What a treat, what a pleasure to watch, man, as Rookie popped the hell off in this game.
It was so good. Again, that fight specifically zoning on early on, it just meant that by the time he actually gets in here, the Shy is just way too healthy.
This was the Shy big fight. Yeah, he really turned this one.
And then this was where it all went wrong.
Good for Rookie. Fun outplay. Why the hell was EDG making this play? EDG blew my mind with a few of the plays they made, and not in the best way this series. And Rookie, I mean, that was a beautiful ult from him into the wall to get out of the damage from Angel. But this is picturesque, Yanni, as they call it in sports, as that is a wombo combo for all wombo combos there. And really made the difference. Only other winning fight was this one for EDG, and it's because Rookie was kind of out of it.
Yeah, you see him over on the top side, really just neutralized in this fight, couldn't find a good way in. Mostly because the way EDG attacked here, you have to go in on ZDZ, but once you get in there, he went in melee range of the Pantheon. The Pantheon's going to stun you every time. You mentioned low CC, but if you walk right into it, they will blow you up. And again, it's just every time, just unable to secure these dragons. 3-0 to getting reverse soul swept. And Mako, in some of these fights, some big pop blossoms. Well earned by JJ and Mako against their former team to ensure that their records stay pristine, perfectly undefeated against them. But they really have Rookie to thank for that. Let's be honest.
I mean, yeah. And if we're going to be honest about where IG's at, Yanni, I don't know how inspiring this performance is, like, compared to the top 4. I think that's still kind of my concern. I don't know where your head's at with that. But we expect them to take care of business and have this tonight. And again, I like to call IG the most entertaining team we have in League of Legends.
You're right.
And it's because of moments like this. I thought they got Rookie in this fight. Like I probably talked too much in the call, but they chunked him. I was like, they got Rookie. And for me, like, this chunk from Angel's huge. I mean, he predicted Rocket Bell, like, he's at half. I thought this was kind of a winning fight. But then Rookie goes in and just one-shots everyone. It just doesn't matter.
Oh, he just completely slides himself to the other side of the fight. Where
Yeah, watch.
He still has
this is
that
disgusting,
perfect
man.
execution,
That
too.
the E into the wall on the
goodness
wink
me.
is so hot. Oh my god.
Oh
Rookie
my
Akali,
goodness, he played that insane.
thank you. This was a pleasure. This was a blast. Rookie Akali, that was disgusting, man. Holy Christ.
Damn, bro, that was insane. So to go back to your question about does this inspire confidence? Absolutely not. And the reason why is, while we did talk about how, yes, EDG did have some leads, but it never felt like IG were ever in any danger of losing the games, you will expect teams in the top 4 that if IG spot them those leads, they're going to be able to carry it home. I think that in a similar series, I think that in a similar series where if let's say IG is playing against one of these top 4 teams, at least 2 of these games are going the other way.
Yeah, I mean, somewhat reasonable. I have to, like, kind of go back through the tape and see where things went wrong for IG. I think it was mostly in terms of early game plans and execution. Like, the Dragon that got stolen away from them and then the Pop Blossom not connecting was, I'd say, more so a mistake on IG, and that really set them behind in this game. So definitely still some areas to clean up, but I think the direction of this team, the drafts we saw too, was actually quite good for IG. Again, I think that there are still a lot of positives to take away as, oh my god. Really?
Why is he only doing this? He should be doing this or this, because he got all 3 of them, bro.
I mean, what a series, Matt. 200% damage to gold percentage as the rookie highlight reel was unreal. It's going to be a fun one. If you guys missed that game 3, please go tell your friends to watch it, because that 1v9 from rookie was just stupid. Human highlight reel in that game alone. What a blast to watch. It is a fun one, Yanni.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. And if you are a rookie enjoyer, you are eating so good in this series. As we're going to go pull up the play-ins graphic, as we only have one result, but you know what it is. IG advance. EDG will enjoy Nirvana for one more split. But we do have 3 more play-in matches to come. And guess what? They're all in back-to-back-to-back days. Tomorrow, same time, same place, FPX versus NIP. One of the 2 matches where a Group Ascend team will be dropped to Group Nirvana. Our 8 seed versus our 9 seed. Teams that FPX was looking good in the middle of the split.
Who do you got?
Went on a slide.
Yeah.
Dude, I saw NIP lose the Thunder Talk, and I have to go
grim.
with FPX.
It was really grim.
I have to go for FPX here. I think it's going to be close. I think it's going to be a 3-2 series. It could really go either way. But FPX hadn't looked good lately either. So who do you have? What do you think?
I'm very concerned that Aki got 2-0'd by Xiao Hongren, but I still have faith in NIP, which is, it's not deserved at this point, but we'll see. I think that, like, I feel like FPX can win, but I just have this weird faith in Joinby and NIP to show up. They haven't showed up all split, but I feel like when push comes to shove in playoffs, you know, sometimes these teams are able to prep and lock in. Pedigree matters, and NIP has a little bit more pedigree, but it would be fun to see FPX win. I think Jouet has been fantastic. He's sneaking into some all-pro ballots, and rightfully so this split. So I think he deserves a real shout, and opportunity, I think, for FPX to find a win. That would be really monumental if they send NIP to that Group Nirvana. Of course, that was the stakes today. We did have IG moving up. They not only make it to playoffs, but also group ascension for next split. Group Nirvana again for EDG. I think that's a really big deal as well.
Well, Cubby, that's it for today. However, before we leave, we would like to thank our Elite Coffee supporters, Aaron Soup, Mung, and Forrest Without, because their pledged financial contributions
Forrest Without?
help us. Yes, Forrest Without.
The streamer?
The streamer, the Twitter guy.
It's an old bit from Conan. Anyway.
Yes.
Yeah.
Twitter guy, Forrest Without. Their pledged financial contributions help us level up the broadcast and give back to the cast and crew who strive to give you an English LPL product every single day that the LPL is running. For the next 3 days, the LPL will be running. Remember, tomorrow, FPX, NIP. For myself, my co-caster Cubby, Kelsey Moser behind the glass, and the entire LPL English family, we want to thank you so much for being here with us tonight, and we hope to see you tomorrow for some more LPL action.
Take a moment right here, feeling like it's out gear, driving towards the sun with a rose and a gun, feel the wind in my hair.